So this is going to be even more off the cuff than our normal games.
Oh dear.
Because I did not have my 30 minutes to prepare.
So. It's okay. What could go wrong?
Right?
Cell doesn't do anything crazy and off the wall ever.
Ever. Strictly to the books. Lawful good.
We have a plan. She sticks to it every time.
Yeah. Just sometimes there's a detour. I can't control construction. Yeah.
Oh. No.
No, I don't even know what to laugh at.
Somebody's happy today.
He's happy every day. I know that's not true. I brought treats to bribe him, so maybe he'll be quiet. We'll see. Because he skipped a nap, so he napped earlier. So probably won't be sleeping anytime soon.
Oh no.
I know, it's gonna be fun. But last night he stayed up till like 11 o'clock, and I'm like, I don't stay up late, kid. What are you doing to me?
Hey, there's Ryan.
It's past mommy's bedtime. Why are you still up?
Right?
Yep.
He still woke up at 6 o'clock, and I was like, this is not okay. We can't do this. Yeah.
Did it work? Okay.
All right. Are we all here and ready?
Yes.
I think so.
Beautiful. Let's start the night off with some D20s.
I don't have any. I'm sorry.
We're plumb out.
That's fine. You can take Ryan's.
I don't remember. Is it high or low that has to say it? Low, isn't it?
A really good question.
Ah.
Let's see what Ted rolls, and then I'll tell you.
Either way, I'm right in the middle, so it's just fine.
Hey!
That Goldilocks zone.
Ola! Tell us what happened last week.
Please do not rely on my memory. Please.
Well, give it your best shot. We'll see what happens.
It's your turn. The dice have spoken.
Oh, I hate you guys. God, I literally cannot remember anything. This is not my forte. I gain insight, really.
Well, you got money from gambling.
Okay.
All right. Well, Ted's homework is to take better notes.
Yes.
So we had began the session with the party just leaving the black hole and heading towards Tatooine. Party flies to Tatooine and they land and almost had an altercation with the dockmaster because Volwa did not want to pay and was trying to grease the guy without any coin. Before you landed, though, you figured out that Cell's little flashing cube is a Rakatan beacon that points to a junk planet. Let's see. You paid for some guards. You went to the Galloping Meadow for some medical supplies in the whatever district that was, don't remember. Municipal district, I believe is what it was. And then you heard Cell had some fun interactions with a Jawa, telling about a war going on between the raiders, I believe. Tuscan Raiders and the Jawas, as well as a little information about this weird storm that's been happening. Continuous storm in the middle of the desert. Just beyond the Dune Sea. You learned that it was about 100 or so miles outside of Mos Eisley, which is quick enough to get to by transport. Amick had a run-in with a Mandalorian from the clan Vault, and he did not want to take up the offer of joining the Great Hunt. He was on a grander mission, and told that guy to F off or die.
You got a greater hunt going on.
Right?
We then went to the... well, that was a little out of order. You went to the Galloping Meadow, and the Zabrak owner gave you information to go to the Pleasure District to get more information about this storm. And so you went to the Pleasure District where Vola wanted to go all along because he was going to offer himself up for some credits because he's poor. So you guys walk down into the Pleasure District, and you find a quaint little bar with some mercenaries hanging out due to a quick eye by Amick, the Lock, Stock, and Smoking Jawa. Deciding that, or encountering three individuals in front, Amick finds out that there's a black market dealer bazaar thing a little bit further in to the Pleasure District, and
I
Vola
know how to find what you need.
yes, and Volwa decided he was going to get drunk with Cell's coin with her credits. Cell sidled up to a strange little group of people, a human, an Ithorian, and a Twi'lek sitting there, and they offered her a job, and she was seriously contemplating leaving. After doing a little bit of talking there, she found a little bit of information about the storm, and then I believe she left to go find...
I was
After that-
quickly drawn away because Bubba was spending all my money.
That's what it was. He was getting ready to buy a round for the bar on your credits, and so you decided to leave. Amick and Skathos went to the Black Market District, gained the keyword, and encountered a stall of Sith-like artifacts, and Skathos was able to procure some blueprints for some Sith spells / mechanical type things, as well as receiving a small deck of cards before he walked out. But you did get some information with a little bit of RP and a little bit of talking that you know that there was one human that made it out of the tunnels with the crystalline crystals in this weird tunnel beneath a sand pit. And the human's name was Joe. The Ithorian, an Ithorian named Toucan, and a Twi'lek named Mejon. With this information, you went back to go gather your colleagues at the Lock, Stock, and Smoking Jawa when Cell had told her friend Volwa that she had a bomb, and a couple of mercenaries decided that they were going to take out this Jawa.
Right, I just straight up killed this dude.
And Avix straight up murdered some dudes and had one hell of a time.
Don't fuck with these Jawa guys.
Yeah. So there was one guy, I believe, that fled. Two guys that fled. Heavy armor guy, cloak guy. Those two fled. Daggers died and got dropped on the floor. Amick spoke to Amick and Skathos spoke to Cell and Volwa, relaying the information of they need to find the 3 people. Cell said, I met those 3 people. They're in the bar. So you talk to them. You hire them on for a rate of 250 credits, I believe it was, per person.
Per person? Oh, jeez.
I just
It
know
was
Skate
250
was
total.
paying.
No, it was 250 per person, I believe.
Oh,
All
geez.
right.
That was more
But-
than what they told me originally.
But it was
and they
only
just-
it was only like a part down and then part after they got back, plus possible
But-
employment.
We worked out a deal where like we would wind up paying them $250 as well as offering them a ride off the planet.
That's what it was. 250 credits plus a ride.
Yes. So that's a lot of money for just these
That's
schmucks
a lot.
in the
Well,
bar.
you know, they're swindlers.
That
They're
was about
mercenaries.
to
They're in a
abandon us
mercenary
all.
bar, and they're poor.
And then they proceeded to go gamble it.
Yes, and I believe you found out that the person that sent a bounty out for you was the Flame. That information was on the body of Daggers. And that a powerful person on Nar Shaddaa is not happy that you disrupted his operations.
Yeah, that's fun.
Then you decided to, or rather, Joe said, "Why don't we take the evening and blow off some steam and see if we can make some credits?" And so you all went to the Rancor's Maw, a casino in the slums, and you guys played some wampas and tauntauns, and some of you were up pretty high on the night, and some of you have broken even. And it seems like Joe is doing pretty well for himself. And that's where we left off, with people putting money on the table. And we were going to get ready to roll some more.
Yes.
So, I am going to put you guys on a map real quick. Not that map. I got too many maps.
Oh, no, I was down 25 gold. Fuck that. I'm out.
Yeah, I think actually Amick was the only one that lost credits in that whole ordeal.
Yeah, I think so.
Otherwise, you guys were floating up and down, breaking even.
I was also throwing down the least amount of money, so.
Got my ears lost. Oh, well.
See, this is why I don't gamble. Even in Dungeons and Dragons.
You gamble with someone else's money.
I just need
All
to
right,
remember
so-
to get my swindler's dice back.
All right, so it looks like Cell threw in at the end of the night,
Should start charging for being a bodyguard.
and I believe, was it Skathos that stayed in, or did Skathos walk?
I'm pretty sure Skathos walked.
Yeah,
Okay.
Escape.
He
think
lost
very
a hand and he was
last
like, you know what, screw this.
Yep,
game."
I'm out.
Okay. I have to pull those rules up because I forgot what they do. 1 second.
You're welcome.
I'll find them.
I'm the only one playing still. I just can do one more round so I can get my dice back.
Actually, I think I put the handout in here. I'll just pull up the handout.
Yeah, I think it's.
Hey, dice game. There it is. All right. Hey, dealer has to roll a d10. Ta-da! Ooh. So, this is a 1-to-1 payout for Cell.
At least
And
it's
if I remember right, Volwa was cheating most of the time, and Cell was using weighted dice.
Yes. So this time, I'm gonna pick up my dice to roll them, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
roll the casino dice instead of my double.
Okay,
so I
you're
get
gonna
the dice.
retrieve your cheat dice. I need
Yeah.
a sleight of hand. Okay.
14? Oh, that's not very good, Sal. What are you doing?
You don't know.
Mean.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and continue your 2d6 roll, and we'll
11. That means I
Oh.
lose.
you lose.
I lose.
I will give one chance to Volwa if he's feeling particularly evil or not. If he wants to try to influence this roll.
Amick, knowing that all is cheating, is actually going to exit the casino.
Okay. Amick walks out.
And of course, I'm always feeling evil. So yes.
All right. So you use your ability. I don't remember what we were having you roll for that.
Yeah, it was my cantrip, but I can't remember.
I think you were having him do sleight of hand.
Yeah, I think it was a sleight of hand.
All right, give me a sleight of hand roll.
Okay.
I was trying
That's
to
right.
get
You're
back to the-
trying to quietly do the components
Yeah,
to alter
finally
the.
did it.
yeah.
So,
Natural 20.
oh damn.
All right. You get one more roll.
Okay.
No, not you. So
18
Oh.
on that one.
no, you aided in her being able to roll again on her d6s. So Cell, give me 2 more d6.
Oh. Oh.
He's altering your roll.
7.
That's a win. So you walk
Okay.
out. You walk. You have a draw on that one.
Is it working?
Sweet. Okay. So I made like $200. So I'm very happy.
All right.
I got
You
my
see,
dice
you
separate
actually
people.
see Joe just on the other table, and he decides to get up with a little bit more coin in his or credits in his possession than when he entered, because he had received 250 credits from you guys earlier. So he's up a little bit more.
I will keep that in mind because we're going to be traveling together.
Cell, do you wish to continue?
No, I'm good. I've cheated
Okay.
for most of the night. I have my dice back. I think it's time to call it quits while we're ahead.
So those of you that have won, you take your cards over to basically like the Chuck E. Cheese place where you put in your tickets and you get like a thing. So you put in your play cards and you get back a credit stick with the amount on. Excuse me, with the amount on it. So you have your winnings. If you've been keeping track, good on you. Because I
I want
haven't.
the Voltron ring.
You want the Voltron ring? That'll cost all of your credits.
I've only got 50.
So you see Joe walk up, and you see the Ithorian and the Twi'lek kind of follow in suit behind him and step behind him, and he goes up to Skathos and says, "Well, how did you do tonight?"
Well, friend, I think the first a few rounds went fairly good until the dealer started obviously cheating on favor of the house.
Clearly.
Then I decided to pull back.
Yeah, those robots can really give it to you when they want to.
Yes, no kidding. There's something wrong with their programming.
Indeed. Shall we head back to your ship for the night, or do you want to find a place here in the pleasure district?
Well, I'm all for not spending more credits.
All right, I didn't catch Ryan. Ryan, what did you say?
I'm all for not spending more credits.
That sounds like a fine plan to me. I need everyone but Amic to roll me a perception check, please. As Amic has already left the casino.
Amic has left the building.
Rolling like crap tonight.
Oh,
9.
Doug, 9. Cell and Skathos. You see. Actually, hold on. Let me roll a perception check for these guys as well. Ooh. You see the Twi'lek quickly dart her eyes, and she pulls at Joe and starts moving towards the exit. You turn to look where the Twi'lek was looking, and you start to see some casino guards coming in your direction.
It's time to grab up right now. Let's go, bye-bye.
Time to make haste.
All right. Let's roll some initiative.
Oh, no.
Let me get the tracker up for you. There we go. Oh! Ooh! I'm
not
getting your
caught
rolls
up
out
in
early.
shenanigans.
Be ready to go.
Get one for Vola. Amick, you can go ahead and roll 2 since you're outside.
Oh, yay! I get to be included in,
Oh, yes.
The
in
great
their
escape.
nonsense
Yep.
that I tried avoiding. Yeah, you tell them, Sammy.
There's another person here. All right. Vola, what'd you get?
Well, I guess I'll have to manually roll it. My little button's not working.
Did you have your token selected?
8.
8.
I did.
Plus?
I clicked my guy. No, that's 8.
Oh, 8 total. Oh, shit. All right. Good to know. All right. So,
Slow motion monk.
we got Skathos acting first. You notice that the trio has moved, and you're the quickest to pick up on it. What do you do?
I think I can hear Amick calling for assistance and try to just kind of push my way quickly out the door, even making use of an action to dash out.
Okay. How nonchalantly are you doing this?
Probably at a brisk. Actually, let me ask this: the casino guards that are approaching, are they approaching like weapons in hand, like ready for a fight, or are these just like the fancy security guards that the pit boss wants to talk to you, kind of thing, just real threatening looking, but not weapons in the hand ready to kill you?
They do not have weapons in the hand, but you have a feeling that in these types of areas, they'd like to know why you're doing and how you're doing it, so they will probably knock you out and then take you to a back room.
Okay.
You don't know about which means that they would do that, but
Muffin.
start shooting inside of a casino is bad for business, so they're going to try to do it quietly.
One of them looks a lot like LL Cool J.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, Skathos is going to slither a little bit quicker, but rather than dashing, make use of his own device to armor himself up a bit. And in doing
so
so,
you activate.
activates his arcane ward.
Gotcha. Cool ability. Is that like an always on kind of thing, or what?
So the arcane ward, you have to cast an abjuration spell, and I don't have a whole lot of those. And so that's part of the reason why I took that feat to pick up mage armor once a day. So anytime I cast mage armor, I get the arcane ward active.
Nice. Isn't there a abjuration cantrip?
Cantrip doesn't work for cantrips. Has to be
Oh,
at least
first level or higher.
Yeah.
Well, once you get to that, what is it, level 17, you can do it anytime you want.
Yep.
At will, first
Till
level
then,
spells.
Just have to live that long.
Yep. All right. So you quickly touch your belt, and a quick sheen goes over your body and then turns invisible. The guard seemed none the wiser as to what you were doing. Do you still have Simon up?
He's probably like not active right now, fastened up into a backpack.
Okay, cool. All right. So you are skittering through people, just acting like you're taking your winnings and moving out of the building.
Yeah.
But being a little precautious. Cell, what do you do?
Yes.
You see guards walking directly towards you.
I take my winnings and I make my way to the door nonchalantly and quickly and stealthily as possible. I will.
Give me a performance roll, please.
I'm going to weave in and out of people as,
Actually,
less obvious as I can, but, with a goal in mind, trying to kind of dodge, duck, dive.
since you are so small, how do you want to try to evade this oncoming guard?
So, like, there's a lot of people in the casino. I assume there's a few, like, walking around and stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm going to, like, be making my way to the door. And then, like, right as soon as I kind of, like, duck behind a person, I'm going to hurry and, like, take that second to, like, hide behind something else real quick. Like, like the car goes by and all of a sudden the person's gone type move.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Then, in that case, instead of a performance, because you're going to basically just be walking normally, and then quickly hiding and running, give me a stealth check, please.
Oh, really? What is happening today? It's a 13.
Oh, that is no es bueno.
That's
Okay.
not
Jason's
good,
born
though.
had to roll higher than a 13 to pull that one off.
Yeah.
Bam!
I'm gone. So you believe that you have gone off without anybody noticing you.
Oh, jeez.
And you get what? Are you just doing a standard movement or are you doing double movement?
Oh, no, I'm going to do double move and
Bonus action to like hide or
click my heels so my walking speed is doubled.
okay, so you're moving 120 feet?
I'm going to be gone as fast as I can in a very nonchalant way.
Okay, so bonus action to activate the boots. Double. Okay, 60 feet. Yeah, 120 feet. So you make it basically to the door in that. These guards are wide-eyed, and you see them starting to pull up communications. Amick, you're starting to hear people starting to rustle inside as you don't necessarily hear exactly what they're saying, but you hear that there is a fast-moving object that is knocking into a bunch of people as it's running through this casino. And you are currently outside the doors, so you can look in and see. Maybe if you want to assist in some way. I don't know. That's up to you. See, Amick. You also see that the Ithorian, the Twi'lek, and the human are already out of the building and are starting to walk down the slums district, down this pleasure district, to back towards the bus station.
Well, they don't know where our ship is, so I don't have to worry.
But they kind of figure, like, it seems like all the docks are in one area, so they're going to head to the bus and get out of there no matter what.
Yeah, that's fair. But I don't have to, like, follow them, because I don't need to worry about them. So I will position myself near the door, but I'm not going to look in.
All right.
Implicate myself.
So you're like a cowboy sitting on the edge of the saloon, hat a little tilted, boot up against the building.
Yeah, it's exactly the image I had in my head.
All right. The Marlboro Man standing outside of the casino.
Sassafras.
Volva, you just see a blur of black and brown fly through the casino. People toppling all over the place. Women screeching as their skirts fly up. What do you do?
I position myself in between Amick and Cell.
Amick's outside of the building.
Yeah.
Oh, he already made that? Okay.
No,
And
he left
Cell
before you guys even
just
noticed
saw
and
running.
started talking. Yeah,
All right,
he's
well, then I'm
he's
last
already
one
out.
out.
Yeah.
I make myself.
You're currently the furthest from the door. Excuse me. Furthest from the door.
I take my full movement by keeping myself in between Cell and the pursuing guards.
That is certainly possible.
Which
Are you
is-
using your action to dash?
Yeah, I guess we're full on running. So,
Yeah.
so that's
So
double my
you're
movement.
gonna barrel through people. You can take a quick look, and you see that the guards are not focused on you. You seem to have made all your necessary cheat rolls, They're focused on the blur that just ran through the building.
Then I'll proceed at normal speed of 50 and try to be in the way.
You're up to 50 feet of movement? Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, you can also bonus action Step of the Wind if you use a key point.
I would say that if you're doing any kind of double movement at this point, it looks like you're trying to run. So it's going to implicate.
Yeah, I
yourself.
don't want to draw their attention to me. I just want to be in their way to keep them. That
All right.
way, if I have to stop them from getting Cell, I can
Roll
do that.
me a quick performance with advantage because you're acting like everyone else inside. You're just focusing on taking your winnings and living with
First one's 14. Second one is 17.
Good enough. All right. So you make it 50 feet closer. You're approximately 80 to 90 feet from the door. Plenty of obstacles. As you know, casinos are meant to get you disorientated once you've started drinking. So there's things you have to weave around. So you still got another 70, 80, 90 feet to go to the door. But you do see that people are just barreling left and right as this little Java just was running. And Skathos, you are currently in front of Volwa, but behind Cell.
All right. So continuing along, like towards the door, not at a very rushed pace.
Mhm.
I'd like to look about some of the nearby tables, looking for a larger pile of like chips
Mhm.
to try and like effectively take somebody's large pile of chips and push a significant portion of them just like out. Just kind of to make a scene over here to the
Okay.
A
right to try and draw
money
some
grab.
attention away from Sal.
Yes, I love it.
Classic casino trope.
Yep. You hit a large tray of round chips, laying on a dealer's set of chips that they put out. Roll me a performance on this one,
Got it.
or performance. That's
A 22.
Ooh, shit. That shit goes flying. It hits like 4 tables. People are getting hit in the face and they're like, ah, my face. And then other people are scattering to try to grab these dealer chips because they are far more valuable than the little flimsy cards that they have. And it causes a significant distraction, all while you believe that nobody has seen you. And you move 30 feet closer to the door.
All right.
So that puts you
Skathos
roughly
would like
50 feet away.
Skathos ends his turn just silently fist bumping himself like, yeah. That
All
worked.
right. Cell, you see that the 2 guards have called on the comm link and have double moved closer to you. So they've moved approximately 60 feet closer to you. You're still 50 feet-ish away from them. But you also start to see some guards flanking you from the either side of the door. And they're actually going to try to get up to you and try to grab you as they've called out, there is a Jawa in here and she cheated. Or they cheated. So I need you to make me 2 acrobatics rolls.
Oh no. It's a 27 and a 25.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hell yeah.
Okay, yeah, you
That's my
basically
Jawa.
do like a expert double flip through 2 different of these Grimorian guards who couldn't get better than a 17. So you do a couple flips, they run into each other and knock themselves out because they're just so dumb. They ran full speed like, oh, I'm going to grab them. And this other guy's like, oh, I'm going to grab them. And they crashed heads together as you dove through both their arms. And you are now out of the building. And with your movement, you can make it further than the threesome that is heading towards the bus stop.
I'm going to keep going, and as I pass Amick, I'm going to be like, time to go out, the big guys are after us. And I'm going to go as far as I can.
Leave it to Sil. All right. So you start making it down the hallway. Essentially, for everyone here, as soon as you guys get out of the building and get maybe 1 or 2 rounds down the road, you're all safe. So, we're going to go to Amic. Cell just like, they're onto us, and she's running. And she's like halfway down the block at this point.
Amic's gonna catch the door as it opens with this little Java coming out and pretend to hold it open for the guards as they come running out.
Okay.
And he's just gonna kind of peek in and see if he can see Skathos.
Yeah, you see Skathos about 50 or so feet away.
Okay. He's just gonna hold his turn until Skathos' turn.
Okay.
And just haul ass with Skathos.
Alrighty.
Basically, he's the only one that can't take care of himself.
Gotcha.
Big Bulb can get away.
Alright, so you are waiting for Skathos to come through the door. Volwa!
Yeah.
You are up.
I continue at my pace, and I'm basically going to be the anchor. If somebody gets snagged, I will break it up.
So you casually walk in front of Skathos at this point. And that puts you roughly 20 feet away from the door. You can use your action to move a little bit faster if you would like. Seeing as you're moving faster than the guards, actually the guards are maybe like 15 feet away from you, maybe closer. You're not really looking behind you at the moment, though.
Does anybody look like they're about to shut the door?
You see a hand on the door, and you see a helmet pop in and pop back out. But the 2 guards that were at the door have fallen over. And you don't quite see... Make me a perception check real quick, please. Let's see what you see.
20 total.
You see another set of guards coming to replace the 2 that were unceremoniously knocked unconscious. Coming from the wings. You think that if you were to make use of your full movement, you could beat them out the door before they got to securing the casino and not letting anybody out.
I'll do that. That'd be
All right.
100 feet total.
All right, so you use your action, and you walk the first 50 feet, and then you see the guards barreling to come and lock down the casino, and then you bolt. You turn on the speed, you run out the building, you skid as you get into the alleyway, and that's about as far as you can go. And we will go to Skathos' turn. Skathos, roll me a perception for that as well.
You got it. Perception. A natural 1.
Natural 1. You saw previously a Jawa bolting through the building, and then you saw a Doug bolting through the building. You think that maybe the jig is up, and you might want to start moving faster. You don't necessarily see the guards, but you have an innate sense of it's probably best if I just get out of here as quick as possible.
Yep. Game plan is to just book it at this point. If they've both passed me, then I can only assume there's trouble both up ahead and behind closing in.
All right. So you're going to use your
booking it this
action to
time.
dash?
Yes, sir.
All right. Action to dash gets you about 10 feet from the door. So you're still just on the edge of the building. And then as you look around at this point, you notice that the guards are going to be... It's going to be close. They're going to be getting close to you. Amic.
All right.
So he's out of the door now?
10
No,
feet
he
from
is.
the door.
He's like 10 feet with... just 10 feet short of the doorway. Still inside the casino.
Okay, I'm going to go inside, pick him up, and go back outside. So Let's see.
Okay.
10 feet to get to you. With a dash action, that leaves me 50 feet, so we could get 25 feet. So we're 15 feet out the door.
15 feet out the door. I like it.
That math checks out, right, DM?
Yeah,
Yep.
oh,
Okay,
yeah.
we're good.
No, and you've got like what, 18 strength?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, 18 strength. That's more than
18
enough to
strength,
pick up
18
this
dex,
giant snake
16
person and
con.
carry him out the
I'm a
building.
monster.
Yeah, no, that's you basically pick him up like a child and just like stupid snake person, and you pull him out of the casino. All right.
And he's just gonna shout as he as they run out. I don't have time to get stuck in a casino tonight. Let's go.
Cell, I'm just going to go ahead and skip you. You are booking it, I assume?
I'm going to grab a drink then.
Yes, you got time. Vola, I assume the same for you, or are you just going to run as fast as you can?
I'll take my 50 credits that I got and throw them at the door.
What is your intentions with this maneuver? What
To
is your
draw
intentions with
people
this?
basically as a just a mass of people down for the coin to get in the guard's way.
At this point, you had already seen that that Skathos had done something similar with a far higher amount of coin value inside the casino. You don't actually feel like this would be as beneficial as you think it would be.
Okay. Then I'll holler back at the guys. Do you want me to wait on you or should I go?
Just go.
All right. Double my speed. I'm 100 feet.
Why do people keep addressing me? They're so bad at being bad guys.
All right, so Vola starts booking it down the passageway. Let me roll for these guys here. Actually, let's see. You guys are 15 feet out. The guards double move, and they get right up next to you. They can't do anything this turn, but they are right next to you. Skathos, you are currently in the arms of a Mandalorian. What do you do?
I have to admit this is slightly more embarrassing than I was hoping for, but I do believe I have a solution if you'll allow it.
Go for it.
And to save face, the both of us are going to go invisible.
So you see the guards bewildered as they were getting ready to keep you from running, and you turn invisible.
Casting it at a third level to get the both of us.
Gotcha. Third level spell for the both. All right. So do you jump out of the Mandalorian's arms and start to move?
I'll just stay right where I'm at.
In the arms of an angel. Amick, you are currently holding an invisible snake man. What do you do?
Amick's going to use his action to disengage and then just move slowly 15 feet to the side. Let them run past, and then we will proceed onward.
Okay, good. And invisibility is up for an hour? Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys get out just fine, and you see two of these guards start running down this this alleyway, this street, chasing after this Jawa, and you see them give up after about 100 feet because they just can't keep up with the speed of this Jawa and this Doug that are currently running full sprint away from the casino. They turn around and go back and head back into the casino, and you two are currently free to walk at a leisurely pace down the pleasure district, and all the commotion has settled. The people that have ran from the casino are going back to their daily lives, and you start to hear the chimes and riffs of street performers, and hawkers are starting to rally back up as the nightlife resumes what it was before. The commotion of the great casino escape.
Well, as very much as I do appreciate the possibility of avoiding any entry fees by being cloaked at this point in time, I think it best we refine our comrades to avoid our investment getting away from us. As I don't suppose that Volva will be capable of repaying that 250 credit investment anytime soon.
Yeah, that's why I rescued you.
You're the money.
Benefits of holding on to all the cash.
Yep. All right. So you all make it to the bus stop, and you see the magnificent trio sitting there waiting for the next bus to arrive. They hit a little call button, and they're waiting for the next bus to arrive. They greet you. Do the Mandalorian and Snake Man become visible again at some point over the next 5 minutes?
Scanthos is okay with trying to see if he can get on the bus without paying the meager bus fee.
The bus fee? Okay.
Yeah, he's going to ride this out to try and save a couple bucks.
So you two kind of converse, and you walk up to Cell and Volwa and let them know that you're there, so they don't have to worry.
Whap them both upside the back of the head.
Well, you don't want to attack, because then you'll be visible.
Say some very scolding words.
You give them a nice cuff on the ear, and they realize the error of their ways for cheating at a dice game in a hut-controlled casino, which you are pretty sure that is going to be seen by someone very powerful, and there might be a price on your head. Actually,
did we realize it?
You know what? You're a scum lord. You're part of the criminal underbelly. Give me a straight intelligence check. Insight if you have it.
It doesn't matter. It's a 1.
Well, what's your total? If you have insight, it'll be better.
Yeah. Let's see. Insight. 3 total.
A total of 3. Okay. As far as you know, you're the most wanted criminal in the entire galaxy at this point, based on what the Hutts have done to people before.
Kind of puff out my chest. Yeah.
You feel like you're not going to be able to go to any of the quote-unquote safe planets, which are basically non-Empire or Republic controlled. You feel like it's either best to play up this infamy or lay extremely low and never get caught again. And the group looks to you and said, the trio, the human Joe, who seems to be the leader of this party, speaks to you and says, "You all got caught, didn't you?"
Oh, no, I didn't get caught. Nope. And I'll never find it either, because I'm a Jawa. I mean, I look the same, so I'm good.
I'm afraid to say, Miss Jawa, that Mejan here saw the guards looking directly at you. You got caught cheating. You need to work on your skills.
No, it couldn't have been me. Nope.
Which I don't understand how.
Make
that
a
works.
deception roll, please.
Huh?
She wasn't cheating.
Make a deception check.
Deception. 13.
He looks at you and smiles and says, "If you're going to work with the criminal underbelly, you got to be more on top of your skills. Even I could see it. and I don't have very sharp eyes.
Okay, well, maybe my finger slipped when I was trying to pick up my dice again, but I mean, honestly, it was an honest mistake, and I got it right, no problem. It was everyone else who was slowing me down.
Hold on, Phil. You mean to tell me that you were cheating at that game and still losing?
Oh, no, I won't. I made that with a few.
I think I agree with Joe. You need to seriously work on your skills.
Okay. I'm gonna go, like, sit away from the group.
After a couple minutes, Cell ostracizes herself to the side a little bit. The night bus comes. It is nighttime, and you all board. 2 of you invisible. I don't remember what the charge was for the bus. You have to remind me of that.
It was too much.
Too much.
Too damn high.
Too damn high. I think it was like 25 credits or something like that.
Jesus, really?
I don't remember. No.
Space robbery.
Did you actually have to pay for the bus? You had to pay for protection for
Public
your ship.
transportation. We shouldn't have to.
No.
taxes.
You're not paying for the bus. You had to pay for protection for your ship, not for the bus. So you all get on, and this particular bus heads you back to the shipyard, the docks, as they were, and you spend the next 45 minutes to an hour in relative silence, and you see a couple other people on there, excluding the trio that is following you to your ship. And you wait it out. There's really nothing of note. Nobody says anything. No one's looking suspicious. Everyone's keeping to their own. You see a couple of hungover people that are kind of had a rough night.
How quiet is this bus? Like, is it like eerily quiet, or there's still a little bit of chit chat going on?
At this point, for how long you guys were playing, it is pretty quiet. You maybe hear a couple of moans from someone who might have had too much to drink, or someone that might have lost and is kind of grumbling to themselves, but nobody's having a conversation on the bus ride.
Okay, I'm gonna go like really, really, really whisper. I'm gonna lean over to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to test my skills? You pick out anyone on this bus, and I'll take something from them. You tell me what to take, I'll get it from them, and they won't notice. You pick out anyone.
Oh my god.
He leans down and whispers to you, "If you really want to be good, take the busman's ID card that's attached to his chest. That'll be a good test of your skills."
Oh, jeez, that's gonna be tough. Okay, I got this. You'll see.
You're currently about halfway through your journey, so you still have about 20 to 30 minutes.
She gets to the front of the bus. There's no one driving this thing.
Oh god. Okay, I'm plotting in my head, guys. Give me a second.
Yep. So you retreat away from Joe, and he's just sitting there with a smile on his face.
Reaches over his left shoulder, just pulls it off.
I know. Is this like the kind of bus driver that's in like a box though? Like, are they in like a little glass box? You
Like the
can't
light
actually...
rail in Phoenix.
You're right. No, what you see is a robotic driver. It's a robot that's built into a chair that is essentially welded into the bus itself.
What a terrible existence. Please kill me.
Its only programming is the route that it's taking, which is from the docks to the pleasure district and back to the docks. It knows nothing else except for accepting coin. And calling for the authority
deliver
if
butter.
someone doesn't pay.
Oh,
Deliver
Why
butter.
the hell does they have an ID badge?
That's for Cell to figure out with her 18 intelligence.
So I am going to go sit behind the bus driver in the seat, like right behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start messing with the wires that are, that would be.
Oh my
I want to
God.
try and find the one, like, just to sort. Like, I just want to like short circuit him just for like a second, like not even, nothing major, but just kind of like
she's
just
gonna
a quick.
crash the bus.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
No, I don't.
All right,
I don't
roll
want
me
to
a
do
sleight of
major,
hand
like,
check,
just a little,
please.
like flicker of a glitch. In
Okay.
that time, I want to try and grab this thing.
Okay,
Just
roll
trying
me
to
a
show 'em a
roll me a
little bit.
sleight of hand for trying to disrupt the ocular cameras on this bus droid.
24.
All right, you disrupt the ocular. You disrupt the ocular nerves of this bus droid just fine, and you see that there is a stamped, not necessarily stamped, there is a riveted plate on this robot's chest that says IG-78.
It's not just like something like a snatch. Ah!
You feel like you could maybe pry a knife in there and pry off this plate.
Oh man!
I said somebody. Robots don't count. They're not real people.
That's not
Okay.
true. Cell thinks they have feelings.
I
I'm
will
racist against robots.
I will tell
We
you
don't
this
serve
right
their
now.
kind here.
I will tell you this right now. You have 3 attempts at taking this plate off before this bus crashes in a fiery mess.
Oh god.
Okay. I got this, guys. I got this.
So, I need you to make me a strength check to pry this plate off of this robot's chest.
It wouldn't be like a tools thing.
Depending on how well you do, depends on how far this bus shifts off course.
That's 18.
18.
Damn, that's really good.
The bus stays it stays on course, it does not move, and you pop one of the 4 rivets on this chest. Give me another strength check. Unless you have some other creative way of pulling off this plate, you've got 3 more rivets to get. And only 2 attempts to get it off.
Oh, and strength is not my thing. Okay.
So, how do you attempt to get this plate off?
Okay. Well, I'll go again with the strength check.
All right. Give me another strength.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You pop the plate off and grab you have the plate and you pocket it. Your next attempt, I need you to rewire this bus droid before it crashes into something. Roll me another sleight of hand.
Or
what?
Is it sleight of hand to rewire it?
Sleight of hand to rewire it. Natural 20 again. You rewire it, and this droid says, hold on, I gotta get the droid
What
voice.
are odds makers?
I must need maintenance. My ocular sensors have gone completely haywire. You have successfully stolen the nameplate from a droid, as well as not killed everyone on the bus, and you walk away from the bus driver.
And I just plop it in Joe's lap, and I sit back down.
And all anybody hears, it's completely quiet. The people that were sitting on the bus are completely scared because the driver just said, "I can't see." All you hear is a clap. As Joe looks to you and says, maybe dice aren't what you're suited for. The offer still stands. You can join us if you want.
I'm just gonna sit there very smug at myself. Those were my 2 natural 20s I wasted for the night.
Hey, you didn't die. Because you were traveling at a high rate of speed in a metal tin can, a tin can across the desert.
Phil doesn't like to be questioned.
So the offer still stands, and at this point, the droid centers itself, and you're approximately 5 minutes away. Is there anything anybody else wants to do on the bus while there's the last 5 minutes of this hell ride?
Yeah, I almost said that everyone didn't die. I didn't kill myself.
You did good.
Did good.
No, there's nothing else I want to do.
Skathos is going to come over towards Amek and be like, I'm beginning to realize that I may not have the opportunity to repay you if you are going to continue to save my life based on the decisions that Cell keeps making. And I'm a bit of a firm believer in the odds in all, and considering the fact that you've now saved me at least 3 times from a situation in dire need caused on behalf of Cell. First, when you grabbed me from those pipes on the planet leading from the path that Cell had chosen and pulled me back up, followed by the water planet where Cell summoned forth some sort of shadowy tentacle monster to try and murder all of us. And now, having just narrowly escaped one of the Hutt's casinos where Cell was trying to draw very much unwanted attention by cheating in, I believe it is only necessary that I start to show some sort of appreciation. And so I would very much like to offer you this very well-crafted silver raven that we found in one of our escapades. As I have Simon, and I don't think that I myself will be getting much use out of this. But at the very least, it could be worth a very pretty penny if you have no use for it yourself.
Thanks. Wait, are you paying me?
Very much so, yes.
All right, I'll work for you.
And I would very much like for you to remember this the next time that Volva tries to jettison me off the ship.
Yeah, don't worry.
So, a new bond has been formed as the party begins to land at the docking section. We are landing at the docking section. Please be wary of your step and have a wonderful day, as the bus droid says. And you are back onto this long circular ring of ship docks, and you step off with everyone else, and it seems like some people are going left and some people are going right to circle around to their respective loading areas, their landing pads, as it were. What do you do?
Amic's gonna pull Skathos aside before they turn visible, and he's gonna say, we let these people on our ship, they might just kill us and take the ship. They have been openly saying that that's what they've been looking for. So, I don't know how smart that is.
You think we should take watches over them? Keep them locked up in a part of the ship while we get our much-needed rest?
No, just tell them to find some place to sleep, and we can see them in the morning.
Meet them in 8 hours somewhere else? That sounds reasonable to me.
I need you two each to make me a stealth roll.
6.
Or
My
just-
voice carries.
7.
Oh, my
Currently
God.
invisible, you see all 3 of them turn to look in the direction they hear the voices coming from. And Joe speaks out for the group. Well, If you don't trust us that much, we might as well not work together on getting to this terrible storm out into the middle of the desert.
Well, listen here, Joe. When we were on the verge of getting caught within that casino, I saw you caring much for your own party before our own. And so let's just say that acts of trust beget trust.
I didn't see any of you working to help us out either.
Because I was very
see
much
that
in
your
the rear.
Mandalorian had left the building before any of us got out.
Because I'm not an idiot.
I like the way he thinks. Are you looking for a job? We have an opening. We could use some more muscle on this team.
Why would I work for a team that doesn't have a ship?
Fair point.
Yeah,
we could
that's why I
have
don't
one
trust
soon
you.
with how much I won.
Yeah, I already have a ship.
Fair enough. But if you're
I'm
looking
not-
for a more competent group of scallywags and wrongdoers, we're your group.
Sal's gonna look back slightly offended.
Yeah, that's why I hired you to help me. I don't think you understand the nature of this relationship here, buddy.
Look, I'm just trying to get off-world, and I'm going to get off-world one way or another.
Great. You go find a place to sleep tonight, and we'll work on that tomorrow.
Volva is more than willing to pay for your accommodations for the night.
Yeah.
Bowen looks down at his measly sum. Here.
He checks the 225 credit sticks that he has in his pocket. Not a whole lot. You hear, or Joe says to you, "No matter, my friends, if that's what's necessary to keep us on good terms, then so be it. We'll find a place to stay. Meet us right back here at the bus stop, first thing in the morning."
Very well.
So the group walks back towards their ship. Is there anything else you want to do before you get to your ship?
Take a roundabout way to our ship.
If I remember correctly, you guys walked right and saw all the ships. So you're going to walk right from the bus stop to come up to the left side of your ship. Walking on this side, I would like the whole group to make me perception checks, please.
17.
Well,
Map rolls out of the way right now.
Get the good rolls out of the way right now.
What about Volwa? What we got? 12? So 17 is the highest. In this... Does everyone have dark vision? This is a good question. It's kind of dark. Limited
I
light.
do.
Skathos does.
Kathos does?
I do.
60 feet.
Sal does.
Just...
If I can't see, I turn on my helmet lights.
You got helmet lights on. Alright. So the three of you... let's see. 17, 12. Skathos. Looking down the right side, you see a particularly drunk person walk to their luxury yacht, space yacht. About 2 bays away from yours. And this is a fine crafted ship. Think of the Naboo cruisers from the prequel trilogy. Very shiny, not dingy at all. It is exquisite when it comes to ships. You think that there is a lot of money tied into that ship. Other than that, you don't really see anything shady going on. You see a handful of guards on that very elaborate looking ship. You do see approximately 5 to 6 guards. You can't tell if there's some hiding in shadows further beyond your sight. But it looks like if there was anybody in this entire port that is worth anything, it's going to be that ship or possibly the Sith ship that you saw when you entered the planet.
I think he wants us to be murder hobos.
I'm just telling you who is landing here. That's it. That's what you see.
All right. I'll kind of keep a mental note of where it's located, like related to our ship.
2 bays to the left is the luxury yacht. 3 bays to the right is the Sith ship that you recall from this morning. You don't know if it's still there after your full day of adventure on Tatooine. I don't recall what city you guys were in, but in this wonderful city, I think we chose the capital city, right?
Is Anchorhead a city name?
It is. I don't.
I think that's the one we're in.
Yeah,
Anchorhead
that's
Bay.
where we are.
Yes, Anchorhead. That's right. The capital city, Anchorhead. No, so Mos Espa is the capital city. I don't know if you guys went there, if you went Anchorhead. I don't know that in my notes. No matter. The city that you're in, you don't know if anything has changed since this morning. You head back to your ship. The guards have changed. These are now looking like Cathar guards, which are cat people, essentially. No tails, but they have pointed ears, and they have fur and whiskers. And I believe you ordered 2 guards, so there are currently 2 guards on duty watching your vessel. As you walk up, they say...
Are these guards, like, out in the open and visible, or, like, hiding in the shadows within our own docking bay?
They are essentially standing on either side of the where the walkway would be to your ship, like the
And I
ramp.
didn't see any guards, like, in a similar fashion nearby that cruising yacht.
You saw 2 guards there, but then you also saw 3 or 4 guards that were in a semicircle, essentially creating a kill zone anywhere in front of that ship.
All right.
So you currently only have 2 guards standing in front of your ship, and they are just below the loading ramp up to your ship. And they ask you for, we need identification for you to come onto your ship. Come onto this ship.
Well, I think I got the receipts from when I played the guy to play for your guys, but yeah, let me see if I can find it, okay?
Yeah, you should have some kind of valet parking slip.
Yeah.
So I believe that Vola was the one that took the credits and paid for it, or was that Cell?
No, I did it.
Okay, Cell,
The
you
Vola's
provide the
50.
parking slip, and they say, "Very well. We will be here in the morning, and then we expect more pay once you, if you decide to stay further." And so they will guard, the 2 will guard your ship until the morning, at which they expect to be paid a new sum for new protection. Essentially, you get a 24-hour protection for your ship when you pay.
Okay.
Tell me, Khajiit, do you have wares to sell?
No, we have no wares to sell. Unless you're looking for a personal bodyguard, and you can pay more than the huts.
I don't suppose you have any sort of predisposed fee for looking the other way for certain events. Perhaps a fee to make those on guard Well, take a lunch break, perhaps.
You mean on another dock, perhaps?
Hypothetically speaking.
He looks to his other Qatar friend and kind of share a look. As long as it's worth our while, we don't have problems working under the table.
All right, good to know.
You all have a good night. And they turn
You as
and
well.
they allow you passage onto your ship. And those two are guarding the night shift. And the four of you...
Working on the night shift.
Night shift! So the four of you walk onto your ship. And you close it, you lock it, and you have until sunrise to do whatever you would like to do. Let's get some
I immediately
information.
start beating up Sel. No, I'm just kidding.
So who wants to do what in their essential long rest?
I am going to go and sit in my rat hole for a little while, and then I might think of something to do.
Yeah, you think about what you did.
Think about
Go
what
to
you've
your
done.
room, you're grounded.
Hey guys, so, did we, I saw this pipe bomb.
You do.
Jesus.
Yeah, I give this to you. It's in your capable hands.
Who'd you give it
Who are you
to?
giving it to?
Amick.
Amy.
Wait, what is this?
Pipe bomb.
She stole a pipe bomb off of a Trandoshan, assumably bounty hunter,
On the first bus.
on the first bus you guys took.
Is it armed?
No, it is not currently armed. Think of like a thermal detonator, but slightly less or slightly more gruesome when it goes off.
They'll put it in the armory.
Which is your room? Question mark?
Do not have an armory. He'll put it in his armory.
Okay, so you put it in your personal like storage cabinet in your room. Let me throw you guys on this ship real quick.
I just don't want it in my personal belongings, what if,
No.
All right, so we're all back on the ship. Amick has a little Amick has a little like storage chest right there. Not that. The large rectangle. He's got like a curio cabinet kind of looking thing, like a metal storage locker. And he puts it in there and he locks this pipe bomb up. What else are you doing?
Scathos is going to go up to where he placed the alarm and basically just check to see if it was triggered since we left.
You're gonna have to remind me. Where'd you put the alarm?
Like the front door. Basically to see if anyone entered or exited our ship while we were not here.
Okay. You would definitely be further than, was it 1,000 feet?
I think it's like a mile or something like that, but
mile? Give me
I don't know if
an
it's days,
investigation.
but I was okay. You got it.
Yeah, give me an investigation. I'm gonna say that it was good the whole time you guys were out. Just maybe you can see if there was footsteps. 23, no footsteps.
I was just thinking like to see if like you got home and the fire alarm's still going, kind of a thing. Like if it's silently ringing still. Okay.
Nope. You get up to it. You notice that it is still intact, but you don't notice any foul play coming onto this particular door onto the ship.
Good to know.
I'm just thankful the bomb is nowhere near the chaos points.
Well, the bomb is near the neck of the ship and you don't know how powerful this particular bomb is. So, yeah, you got that going.
It's not armed, you pussies.
I'm not worried about it. It's just
Sure.
fun.
I took
Nothing to
care
worry
of it.
about.
I
I'll
did
take
it to
it.
you
I'll
when
take
you
it
were
with us,
drunk.
and I'll throw it at
Well,
the same. It'll be fun.
I wouldn't have given it to you if I was worried about it while you were drunk. I didn't really try and kill you. I just thought I might sober you up. You worried too much.
I deserve it anyways. I killed a man for it.
Boy, babe.
All right. So is there any social interactions going on over the night?
Skathos is going to go around and just kind of start clanging on some of the air ducts. Hey, Sail! Hey, Sail!
What is that terrible, terrible noise? Oh my goodness! I'm gonna...
You see just like an image of like a 3/4 image with like black around the camera as Skathos has got a broomstick slamming it against the air ducts, looking for a reaction from Sel. Go on.
What do you want, right? You don't have to
Keep your voice down, Sail. Stop shouting. You're in the vents, for goodness sake.
Oh, it was a loud sound. It sounded like it was coming from everywhere. I'm sorry. What do you need? What do you want?
Tell me, Sail, did you notice that significantly large, shiny vessel that we passed on our way in?
Oh, yes, I did. It's very shiny. I do love shiny. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking that they might have even more shiny and more valuable items on the inside of that vessel. Now, I overheard what you were talking about with Joe and the others, and I think perhaps it's time for us to test your abilities ourselves. Do you think yourself capable of getting past 5 of those guards?
Oh, yes, that's easy. That's like eating food. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, then. You should have no problems boarding the ship 2 bays to the left of our own. Where it's parked.
I can do that, and then when I'm on, you rent me to like take the ship, or like what do we do then?
Well, at the very least, you could survey it, see how many people might be on board, and perhaps it's time for us to upgrade our vessel. At least on our way out, not right now. Now it's just a scouting mission, Sail.
I bet they have a really, really good ventilation system.
Absolutely. Imagine the cool, refreshing, filtered air that they would have on a vessel like that.
Wait, let's go see. You know, I go see. Yeah, I go check it out for you. Not a problem.
Excellent, Sail. Excellent. Now, do me one very, very, very large favor, Sail.
Yes.
Do you know the difference between your left and your right?
Oh no, that's a really tough one. But I think I can manage maybe.
Sail, I would like you to point to your left.
She points to her right.
It is.
I want you to
very
make a
much-
deception check versus his insight.
What if I'm being completely serious?
You have 18 intelligence. You know what your left and your right is. Skathos, you think she's full of shit.
Amanda doesn't know her left and right most of the time.
But this is D&D. You know. You got 18 intelligence. You would know which wires you actually need to cross when you're doing something.
Okay, yes, I do know that. Okay.
Sail, it is very important that you know the difference between your left and your right, because the vessel 2 bays to our left is a very shiny, very valuable cruising yacht that looks to have a number of valuable pebbles on board, perhaps. But the vessel 2 bays to the right is nothing but death and destruction for you if you are trying to board it. And it will cause nothing but problems for the rest of us.
I'm gonna like change the position of my hand to point to the left.
That is correct.
Yep.
Okay, yes, yes. We can do this. This is a scouting mission, though, so we can't take too much yet. I hear you.
Precisely. Well, ladies all, have a wonderful night, and I will see you when I am well rested in the morning. Salutations.
I love how Skathos is not giving any assistance to this.
If you need me, I'll be in the engine room working with my datapad to transcribe some of these scrolls that I recovered.
I already used my boots, so I'm like, fuck.
Now, if I remember correctly, how do your boots work? Is it a number of rounds?
Rest. It's I have to complete a long rest to use them again.
Ah.
So.
Let's see. Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay.
I can still do it. I got them.
We do this stupid shit all the time.
All right. Before Cell makes her decision, what does Volva and Amic do in the meantime?
Bo is just in the cockpit researching future jumps. Just boring shit, really.
All right. Roll me a percentile dice. D100, please.
Oh, I've got one. Yeah, let me use the thing here. It's better.
What'd you get? 84. Let me see what you randomly think about while you're on your ship.
That's gone wild.
You have a small... You're trying to focus on what you're doing, but in your head, you think of the time when Skathos completely disappeared, and you thought that you killed him into oblivion. And you're starting to think, maybe, possibly, TR-17 has force capabilities. And this scratches and contempts and contorts your brain into how could a medical droid have the ability to wield the force. But it's a compelling argument because he was the only one in the room when you made Skathos disappear. And that's what you think about instead of contemplating jumps in space. Anyway,
So
what are you doing?
Go to TR.
All right. You can you'll get up after a little bit and head to TR-17. Amic, what are you doing?
The same thing I do every night, Pinky.
Try to take over the world?
Cleaning my weapons.
Cleaning your weapons.
And my armor.
I know. I need you.
Until they all shine, except for the one that just won't shine.
Except for the one that got a little bit of Skathos hijinks in it. I believe that was your armor. Roll me a D100, please.
I'll roll you a motherfucking D100.
I want to know. 23. 23. Let me see. Reading. As you're cleaning your gear, you're focusing on every little seam, every groove, every overhang on your gear to make sure that it's meticulously cleaned. There is no residue anywhere. And your mind begins to slip. And it feels very familiar to when Tulak Horde taps into your mind. And you feel yourself in space as you're quickly trying to navigate a large field of space debris. And within this debris, in the center of this debris, you see an old cargo hauler. Very similar to to the Force Awakens, Han Solo's ship, one of those large, like, vessel-eating ships. You see that, and you see it. Can't see fires in space, but it's Star Wars. You see it smoking, and it feels like it's a recent event. And you feel like you know which space it is, but you can't pinpoint it. But you know that in this vessel, this particular type of vessel is a vessel that is built for hauling large, medium-sized vessels, about the size of your vessel. It's meant for capturing and transporting other vessels.
Mm-hmm.
And your mind comes back, and you've polished the same spot for 30 minutes, and it is immaculate. But that is what you see in your mind, and you're not quite sure if it was real or just a slip of madness as you do your routine. Skathos.
Hey, Tulok Horde. Can you hear me?
Alright, I think this is his voice. My things have been jacked up.
Hello? I do hear you.
Nope.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yes.
Close enough. Whatever.
Mandalorian?
Yeah. Hey, does this force stuff make you have like visions?
It depends on what you're having visions for.
I don't understand.
What did you see? And I might be able to clear your mind.
Well, I was floating through space. There was lots of debris. There was a ship, seemed to be broken down. Had been attacked or something like that. That's about it. I kind of recognized the space it was in, but I couldn't pinpoint it.
You, my friend, have tapped into a rare ability. You have seen a possible future for yourself. Perhaps your capture? Perhaps your escape? Only you can find out.
Well, isn't that annoying?
Quite.
As you hear the voice disappear, and we're going to take a short break. I'll let you contemplate on that. I'll be right back.
Dun, dun, dun. I have a plan to break into the ship. I'm pretty excited. That's be so much fun.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Deliver it.
Okay, every time I hear two-lot chord, this is what I hear. Listen.
Oh god, not that it's a small world.
don't know why. That's what I hear. That's
Almost
from
done.
Shrek when they go into the castle.
Little
Duloc. And kind of metagaming. I think Scathos is like setting you up.
using my ability. Very good.
Or you put him in danger enough.
Cell needs to be free. She needs to do these things. It's important.
In real life, you make me anxious. Like, my feet sweat. Like, dancing on a wire.
My first character is finally going to die, probably next Sunday. So I've been through a lot, and I'll finally experience a character death. Poor Phelan. Killed by grubs.
Phelan was troubled.
Hmm?
Phelan was troubled in between the ears.
No, she had a good heart. She just liked dead things. Not a bad thing. Biologists like dead things too.
So where the hell does the ownership of the Phoenix go to if Phelan dies?
Well, Bickerstaff is still there.
Just NPC just sitting. That way, our anchor.
Cassandra technically gave it to Cookie, Bickerstaff, Yannick, and Phelan, and even Garrett and I can't remember. What was her name? Ranrith, thank you. I was like, I know it started with a B. And so, I mean, technically it's all of theirs. And Garrett and Branrith and Biggerstaff are still technically there, and so is Cookie. They're all still alive. So if Phelan dies, I mean, the end's still going to be there. It'll be fine. And Yannick's still technically alive in there. He's just not brain function.
Yeah, but
That's
he
not
wasn't
100% confirmed. He shot 4 people, and then that was all we heard of it.
What? It was bad people. They had the scars on their arm.
He's been left alone unsupervised. Man is out of his mind.
Biggerstaff did one job.
I
I also imagine he's like completely naked.
Oh yeah,
all
he's
the time.
like shooting people like he's picked his boner up. He's still in the tub.
Just climbed out of his tub.
That's a
Shooting him
record.
from the tub, probably. Doors wide open.
Yeah. He like grabbed the tub, like repositioned it, climbed back in. He is feeble-minded after all.
Poor Yannick. Fighting with his acorn showing.
It's okay, he's so dumb he doesn't care.
Yeah, normally, somebody lucid, you'd be at a disadvantage, having to fight naked.
Because you're a moron, you gain unarmored defense. You're so dumb, you don't give a shit about your own life. You fight recklessly.
You're so insane, you have advantage on intelligence checks.
You still have the -5, though.
Still -5.
And we never saw Lucas again. Yeah, but speaking of the other game, yeah, you guys definitely got that chick killed.
Or Trinia.
She'll be fine.
Where were you guys keeping a prisoner? I mean, safe.
Up in one of the rooms. Probably in Yannick's room.
She's upstairs. I gave her a painting canvas. She's fine.
She's full of arrows right now.
She's like Rapunzel. You know? She gets to do whatever she wants in the tower, but she can't leave.
Can't leave. The party is now the evil stepmother of this campaign.
And the Onyx, evil fire-breathing dragon that protects her.
But he just breathes fire on anything, no matter what.
Movement. Blah!
Girl Scouts, you want to buy some cookies?
Hello, we're the Mormon missionaries. At least my premonition was better than Vol was. The robot is horsepower. Like, he's all paranoid. Like, That's right, Vol. I'm talking shit.
That's fine. I'm benign. How does Sil get blamed for cheating when I was doing it for her?
Because she
I
was
had fake
blown
dice.
up that she got caught.
Oh, the fake dice.
I was cheating too.
We were doubling down and still didn't come
Yeah.
out great.
You're both cheating bastards.
Hey, I'm evil.
Oh, okay then.
I'm evil, therefore I must do bad. It's like he's a philosopher. I am evil, therefore I am.
All right, I'm back.
I do evilness. It's how I know I'm alive. Actually, that's kind of a cool angle for a character. I like that.
It's my mantra.
So we left off with
Kill,
Amyx.
therefore I am.
Amyx's wonderful vision. Skeethos, what are you doing in the meantime after talking to Cell?
After talking to Cell, Scathos is going to spend some time, a couple of hours and 50 credits worth of material, putting the Unseen Servant spell into that data pad.
Okay.
And also, I'd like to look, like, if possible, both, but if I have to pick one of the two, I'm going to focus on this headdress that I picked up in the Shady District.
Okay.
I was told it has something to do with curses, possibly hexes.
Ah, yes.
And if I'm able to do both, I'll also try and, like, do the equivalent of a Google search about these cards that I was given. These cards of absolute only good things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one.
Do not tell me we got that.
Here, Volvo, you want 5?
If it helps, Vol, we didn't tell you.
Oh my god.
I have to go back and find where I found those. Oh, yes. Let's see. The headdress and the...
Deck
What
of
was the other
ancient
thing?
cards.
The deck, right?
Yes. Well, there's a chance it might be.
Like, hey, Sil, let me show you a card trick. Pick a card, any card.
Yeah, roll me an Arcana check.
Roll your what?
Arcana check, please.
Ah, you got it. About 8.
Nice.
28.
28. All right. So you're taking a brief moment to look over these two, and you notice that the witch doctor's headdress that you picked up it belonged to ancient magicians, and it seems native to Tatooine, so it's probably a tribe, maybe of raiders, Tusken raiders of some sort, in its design, and you believe that this particular item would give you the ability to cast Hex upon your target, among other spells. Potentially, after further use of this item, you could unlock further abilities. But you believe that at the rudimentary sense, it'll allow you to cast Hex using your intelligence modifier.
Heck yes.
If you have it used in your head slot.
Absolutely. Got a fancy new hat to wear.
Are there slots in 5e?
I
think only insofar as like you can't double up. Like no two
yeah, I mean
helmets,
you
no
can't wear
two
two head
boots,
things.
Like all the rings and necklaces that you want, I think.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Basically, you can't look
only
like a
attuned
gypsy.
3 items, right? That's a raw.
Yeah.
And you also look over this deck and describe to me how you contemplate, or what do you do to this deck?
So, probably after the tale that this guy gave about how the deck's previous owner was disintegrated, I'm probably going to be significantly more cautious about this deck than the headdress.
Mm-hmm.
Like, probably just giving it a once over. Like, actually, probably taking it to the android in the sick bay to effectively have it
TR-17.
turn it over, just in case there's any chance of disintegration.
Okay. So you take it to TR-17, and he takes them once over the deck, and he opens up the box, looks at it, and he tells you that it seems like regular cards to him. But you also get the feeling that he might not be in tune to the Force as well as someone else.
All right.
Particularly a human being.
I didn't need your opinion, I just need your hat.
Tell me, robot, do you believe in the human soul?
Souls are for the weak. I'm sorry.
All right, then. I'll keep that in mind.
I think our robot is a robot supremacist.
Maybe.
Viva the revolution!
Viva the revolution.
Like that season, episode of Futurama when the robots all rise up.
Yeah. One moment.
Anyways, so that character.
So what else do you decide to do?
After
with
that,
this
that's
wonderful deck that this robot doesn't seem to care about.
you're gonna make me say it. I guess Scathos is gonna draw a card to kind of get an idea of the design to try and estimate its value or worth to him.
Okay.
At the very
I
least, see
need
if these
you-
things can be usable for a game of cards
Yeah.
on the ship.
Roll me a D100, please.
Oh, you did it.
My God.
Souls get sucked out.
23.
23.
Beautiful.
That's the same line as I rolled.
So only good things, right?
Oh, only good things.
Yeah, the deck of only good things.
So this is where we die. The bomb goes off, we all die. Sells on the other ship, she lives. We become Joe, the girl.
All right. Let's see what you get. All right. Pulling out a card, what you see is... Hold on. Let me read what it actually is here.
Your own death. You're surrounded by sand.
God,
I
you're
can't.
pulling out a card of decking things on a ship that has these little stones that
Mhm.
cause chaos.
He doesn't know yet.
Maybe if Volvo would have paid him back, he wouldn't have to worry about the value of this deck of cards.
God.
All right. So, gonna randomly shuffle these up here real quick.
Did you pick this up in Chicago?
I feel nauseous.
As long as I could remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. It's taking a long time.
All right. So you get. Aha. So you feel. This is actually really good. You pull the Fates card. This card seems to pull you. You feel the force pull you into a well of infinite knowledge. And it's showing you every action you've ever done in your life. And it's allowing you to avoid or erase one event that could happen or has happened in the past from existence.
What?
And you keep this card on your person, and you feel like the Force is allowing you to hold it till the time you die.
That sounds like a good thing. Deck of only good things.
Sounds like a good thing. Let's have
Yep.
disintegration.
So you feel like maybe this deck
It's a
relates
trap.
to fate itself.
Always disintegration.
All right.
So,
Card of
Scathos, is there something that you would wish to undo from reality? One
Get on the
event
ship.
that you wish never happened?
Okay, so thinking out loud here, I'm thinking about holding on to this card and either A, if we wind up getting screwed over by this Sith Lord guy, making use of it then, or B, if this guy winds up just jerking us along, maybe erasing the event where we were like effectively activated him the first time.
Okay.
But for now, I think I'll just hold on to that.
Yeah. And you get a sense that the deck is still quite active, yet slightly shorter in number of options.
About how many cards are left in this thing? Is it like a full-size 52-card deck? Or
You open it and you see approximately 21 cards in it.
21 cards.
As this particular one has been removed from the deck.
All right. I got a lot to take care of tonight, and so Skathos is going to get to work on that spell scroll so he can still get some rest in.
What does Cell do during her time on the ship?
I'm lucky I'm nothing now.
It's tortured.
So,
It's always tortured existence.
I am going to go to TR17, and then you can
Okay.
speak with them. So, hello, Mr. Friend of mine. I need your help with a project I'm working on. I
Kind
need you to
master.
come with me, but we will be leaving the ship, so it might be a little dark outside, but it's gonna be okay.
What do you require of me, master?
Well, you see, I have these little bots of mine, and they seem to have escaped me. What he doesn't know is I told my little tinker bots to go and cause a ruckus. I'm gonna send them to go kind of cause a ruckus in front of the ship to front of the
the
ship. I'm
left?
gonna try and sneak into kind of a distraction with this droid and these two bots. They're my
Okay.
distraction.
Are you telling him to go to the left or to the right?
Oh, I'm gonna walk with him. We're gonna go to the left. We will go to the left. They didn't tell me if it was my left or his left. So facing the ship or not facing the ship. So that's kind of important. But I remember seeing the shiny ship he was talking about, so it's okay. Okay. But yes, my little friends, they seem to have run away, and I need your help to gather them, please.
Gather your friends is something that I can do.
We must hurry because there's a lot of guards around here, so I don't want them to get shot. You know how these people shoot first, ask questions later. Come.
I understand. Following your lead.
I'm gonna lead him to right before the hangar, and then my droids are gonna be right in front of that hangar, and I'm gonna they're gonna run into the hangar. I'm gonna send TR17 to kind of try and gather them. While everyone's distracted by them, I'm going to try and sneak behind and get on top of the ship to go in through the access point that droids, would sit in, my little escape. That's where I'm going to try and go in. But before I go in, I want to try and pull out some of the wires to make sure that, in the captain quarters or, the front of the ship, I want to make sure that it doesn't set off, your door is open. I want to make sure that wire is cut so it doesn't show that lever opened.
Okay.
So, just giving you kind of my layout.
All right. So So what are you sending your droids in to do?
Just kind of make a distraction. Those little bots that just kind of fuck around and do shit. Just kind of, making a distraction. They're gonna have I don't know, a piece of scrap they're fighting over or something, and then I'm gonna have TR17 go and try and get them. So it's just the more in my head, the more that's happening right there, the more the guards are going to be looking at it and not thinking about, maybe a little Jawa sneaking through.
Yep. Okay. I need give me a performance roll at advantage for all the shenanigans going on. Have your droids natural 20. Fucking A.
Oh yeah.
So your droid is your two droids are fighting over scrap and ramming into people, and TR17 is going up to people saying, "I am here to rescue you and bring you safely away from whatever it is that's troubling you." Which will give you advantage on your stealth check to get onto the ship.
Oh,
so go ahead and scurry along and give me a stealth check with advantage.
24.
So you get up on top of the ship and you see the droid access point. I need a sleight of hand to open this without triggering an alarm.
Can't believe this is working.
And that's what I'm using to disarm the thingy. So sleight of hand. But I was just that's there. So 24.
Yep. You open up the hatch and you stick your head inside, listen for a brief second, and you don't hear any noticeable alarm.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in and close the hatch again.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and get into an air vent.
Mm-hmm.
There's one nearby, and then I just kind of want to get a good layout of the ship. Kind of take note of how many people are on board. Like what the main rooms are. If there seems to be one room that maybe has like a safe in it, or like there's clearly like a guard standing outside of it. Like, is that a main room? Like, that rich stuff.
I get what you're saying. You're going to scope the place out. So,
yes.
Give me a stealth check first to see how quiet you are walking around the ship. Oh, really? Not a sound. So this is like an arrow-shaped vessel. Kind of like that. So you come in through the center, and there's a semicircle followed by a long triangular shape. So you come around half of the semicircle up to the nose of the ship. You go to the nose of the ship. You see one person piloting it. You see a cargo hold when you first come in. So the cargo hold is in the back. Pilot's in the front. The cargo hold seems to have many containers in it. A lot of containers. You can't necessarily see how much and of what is in each of these containers, but there's quite a few. And going around, you also see on the far side, as you're coming back from the triangle, you see a maybe 3 guards in this ship and one passed out drunk person in the captain's quarters.
Okay. Is there any
the captain's quarters is a very lush, like the finest fabrics and the finest art in the that you know of in their room.
And he's passed out drunk in there?
He appears to be completely asleep.
Okay. Is there anything like, I don't know, jewelry or like something sitting on like the table or something really that I could probably get in there and snatch real quick?
Something out in the open?
Valuable? Yeah.
Make a perception check. Or investigation. Investigation.
14.
You see a small pile of credits sitting on the table. It seems like this person might have won at some kind of event or casino. He has a small pile of credits. And next to it, you also see just a smattering of fine bangles, earrings. This person seems to travel in style wherever they go. On the kind of like a little desk area on one side of the room. Just it kind of has like bowels everywhere.
I just want to try and drop in there and like grab like a handful of credits and stuff them in my pocket, and then like put a few bangles on my wrist, and then hop back into the air vent and continue.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check real quick.
20? Not 20. Natural.
Okay. So, you very quietly open up the air gate, the air vent, drop down, sounding silent as you land. You go over, you pocket all the stuff. Now, how are you going to get back
all
up?
Of it. I just want to pocket some of it so it like isn't obvious that it's all missing, but just like, grab a little bit of it.
So you pull 500 credits and 3 essentially platinum bangles amongst the other things that are there. And each bangle is worth approximately 150 credits.
Okay.
So, when you dropped down to the floor, it was approximately 12 feet. How do you plan on getting back into the event?
I would like to try. Let me see, where is it?
Rather, before you do that, looking around the rest of the room, now that you're not looking through an air vent, you see one sleeping human, relatively large-bellied, gross-looking, very sweaty linen shirt, white linen shirt with long sleeves, buttoned up with the chest hair poking out. Seems like he was trying to establish himself as someone wealthy and powerful in the galaxy. Just kind of slumped over on the bed, turned away from you. You see the bed has like fine silks on it, and you see a wardrobe on the far end, away from the bed, as well as like a foot locker at the foot of the bed. As well as like a personal terminal in the space, actually just beyond the desk, or built into the desk, where you are currently looting.
Okay. Is there like the door, I assume, is closed, but is there like a peephole through it, or no?
Nope, no people. It is closed and no visual to the outside corridor.
And the little dresser that was next to the bed, how close is it to the air vent hole?
Like, it'd be on the far side of the room, so approximately like 8 feet.
Okay.
From,
so
like, if you were to climb on top of it and jump to the vent, it'd be like an 8-foot jump. Yeah.
I have this, so I'm trying. I maybe make a running jump to it, like maybe kind of use the dresser to push off of. It won't be as much of a running jump, but I'm trying to get a layout in my head to figure out if I could get a good running jump to get up there.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, you can climb up on top of that thing, no problem. Roll me a straight dexterity check for your jump if you're going right now.
15.
You jump, and you hit the air vent grate.
Oh, yeah.
As you go to grab the ledge.
It
seems like the grate was on your side when you jumped.
Yeah.
And you create a large, cacophonous metal on metal banging inside this room. And I need you to roll me some initiative, please.
Oh, no, so. You got this.
Let me pull up the tracker for you. 19.
Sorry, clicked it before.
Oh, you're fine. Hey, that's what you got last time. So that's good. You're already on there.
Consistent.
So you know that there are 3 or 4 people besides the person that you're in bed with, or not in bed with, in the room with. But the person in this room is currently asleep, but there is a large loud banging noise in the room. He did not seem to stir. So you have a brief moment of opportunity.
Yeah, I want to try and get up in this vent and close the thingy as quickly as I can, and just take a second to be as quiet as I can and see what happened.
So you're going to climb back on top of the dresser?
Oh, I didn't make it into the.
No, you didn't make it.
Oh, fuck.
You hit the grate and fell back
Oh,
down.
I just barely hit it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Okay. Listening around, is there like a commotion happening?
Roll me a perception check. Fine. You put your little Jawa ear up to the door, and you don't hear anything. Seems like this room is maybe soundproofed for the pleasure of this owner of this vessel.
Okay, so.
But the clanging noise you made was far louder than anything that the owner has made before.
One can assume.
One can assume.
Sick. Okay. I'm going to hide underneath the bed for a minute and see, just kind of let it play out, see what happens.
Roll me a stealth check.
Oh my god, what is happening?
Good to know. So as you duck under the bed and your glowing yellow eyes are sitting there underneath in the shadows, you hear the door swish open. And you see two people walk in, one human and one Zabrak. And the human says to the owner, "Sir, you need to get up. There's someone who has infiltrated your ship." The Zabrak, on the other hand, looks around the room and spots your eyes underneath the bed. Pulls out his blaster. He says, "You there, get out from underneath the bed," as he is holding a blaster directly in your space.
Okay, this is good. This is good. Okay.
Really?
So he is currently holding, waiting for you to get out.
Sure. I'm going to crawl out, up. Gonna make sure those bangles are like, really, really up my arm so they're not noticeable with my huge sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna slowly crawl out and put my hands up.
Okay.
And I say, I'm in the harm. I just took a wrong turn. I'm sorry. I lost. I very lost. I was just following some people and I lost. And I'm gonna slowly inch my way, really, not unusually close, but walking forward with my hands up, not trying to pose a threat or anything, but consistently making my way close to him.
I need you to make me a sleight of hand check to hide your...
16.
Good. You're currently hiding those very well. They rolled shit for initiative, by the way.
That's okay.
Which is good for you. So, you spend your turn making sure that everything about your person is hidden, and you crawl out from underneath the bed, and you see this Zabrak. Sorry, did I say Zabrak? Yeah, Zabrak and a human currently looking at you. Zabrak has his laser rifle trained on your position. You come out, put your hands up. Nothing seems to fall out of your sleeves or anything like that. Is that it?
I mean, that was my action to do all that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's all I can do right now.
I would, well, not really to hide your things. I'd say that's a bonus action.
Okay. So then, for my action,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get out from underneath the bed. Then I want to get up. Like, how close is he? Because I know I have limited movement because I was technically prone. So, I mean, would I be able to get up, like, really, like, on him?
Like get across the room to get to him?
Yeah, like, could I get, like, right next to him or, like,
Yeah,
in the...
yeah, I think you could get up to him.
Okay, so here's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get up, like, really calmly kind of walk my way up to him.
Uh-huh.
And then right when I'm, like, right in his face, I want to reach into my pocket.
Uh-huh.
And I want to grab one of my my little pouches of violet. I have a pouch of violet spice and a pouch of aqua spice. I want to grab one and shove it in his face so it definitely like goes into his nostrils and mouth.
All right, roll me an
direct him.
attack roll, a melee attack roll using your dexterity modifier. So,
D20 plus 4.
plus your proficiency.
Wait. So
Should be plus 7.
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. There. I was like, wait a second.
Jesus.
21.
Oh yeah, yeah. You deftly go up and throw spice in his face, and he takes a huge whiff of it, and you see his brain just fry. Roll me 3d8 as he gasps at this sudden movement from this Jawa.
13.
You see him just start to just tweak out a little bit, and he seems to be temporarily stunned by this overdose of narcotics. And that's your turn?
That's my turn.
All right. So, that was, we'll say bad guy number 2. Bad guy number 3 is running. You hear the footsteps running along the corridor coming up to this room. Bad guy number 1 is the human that is next to the Zabrak. And he's gonna attempt to tase you. So I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
21.
So he goes to tase you, and he clips your coat, but he can't find purchase on your body. And then he turns around and tries to backhand you instead of using this little device. That's going to be a 14 to hit.
Nope, that will not hit.
So he swings at you and you duck. These guards are terrible. Owner is just now waking up from the startlement. So he's going to get up, stand up, and push himself into the far corner of the room to avoid conflict. So, you were up.
Okay, so I want to look at this. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to look to the human that just tried to tase me.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do the same thing that I did to the other guy with my, because I have a violet and an aqua spice. So I'm going to shove the aqua spice in his face. So they're going down.
D20 plus 7, please.
Oh, fuck. What is that?
13. He's seen what you did, and as you go to drive into your pouch and put it in his face, he dives out of the way.
That's a waste of drugs. I could have used that. Well, I'm going to
That was your action.
theater of the mind here. I just kind of see myself hanging like off the face of the first guy and like try to shove this drug into the second guy.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to kind of jump over him into the hallway that I hear the guy running in, but I want to run the opposite direction of the guy.
Okay.
So,
are you using any abilities when you do this?
I don't.
You have a bonus action.
Yes, my bonus action to dash.
Disengage?
Wait. Yes, disengage.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, so you definitely flip over them and avoid them pulling a blaster or a stunner on you. And you get out to the hallway through the door that they just opened, and you look to your right, and from the right, which would be to the cargo hold, which is the main access to the ship, you see a large lumbering Wookiee running towards you. And so you turn left and you start running in the opposite circle to go back past the cockpit, and you make it approximately 20 feet in that direction.
And as I'm running, I want to look for air vents that might be easier to get to instead of the one that was 12 feet up. But basically, I'm running towards the cargo hold. That's my
Gotcha. Okay.
plan.
So we'll do that on your next turn. Bad guy number 2 shakes his head from the spite that has come into his face, and he turns and he realizes that you went out and you're not in the room, so he turns, he goes outside the room, and he starts running down the hallway, and this time he's going to come up and he pulls out a large, wicked-looking, jagged blade, and he's going to try to slash at you. Oh, 18.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hit.
All right. You take 4 points of slashing damage.
I have uncanny dodge.
All right, so you half that's 2. And he takes another slash at you. Don't believe a 12 is going to hit.
Nope.
So he takes 2 slashes at you with this jagged blade. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh dear. A 13.
You succeed. You feel like you barely avoided having this blade cut an artery and start to bleed you out.
Oh jeez.
Bad guy number 3, which I believe is the Wookiee. The Wookiee starts running down this corridor. And he attempts to grapple you. I need you to make me an acrobatics check, please.
Jeez. A 14. Why am I rolling like shit tonight? Oh, gosh.
15 on the die.
What do you
You
mean
see
rolling
this
like shit? You rolled
Wookiee.
2 natural 20s in a row.
Right?
That's
This Wookiee
my head.
just grabs you in the palm of its hands and lifts you up. So you're approximately 4 or 5 feet off the ground, and you are currently being grappled. And that's the Wookiee's turn. And you hear it go, "Ah." Bad guy number 1, the human walks out, assesses the situation, and he's going to attempt to stun you. He pulls out a stunner as well and attempts to stab you with a stunner to stun you in place. Oh, natural 19. That's going to hit. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Sick. 8. Oh my god.
All right. You take 7 points of damage, and you are currently stunned. Think of it like the monk stun. You are stunned until the end of his next turn.
You said 8 points of damage?
8 points of damage.
And I am stunned. Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
The owner looks out the room and says, "Is everything safe?" And he's kind of just shaking. You can see him, but you can't react to it. I will give you one verbal action on your turn.
I come in peace. Help!
That's it.
That's all I got.
Roll me a persuasion with disadvantage, please.
3.
Oh dear God!
The Zabrak says, yeah, you don't look like you're coming in peace when you're being a sneak thief in the middle of the night and attempting to take our owner's things. So he stands, he actually goes and attaches manacles to your hands. So you're currently grappled and manacled.
Oh, jeez. So,
And we'll just skip the 2 bad guys' turns. And so you're currently being held by a Wookiee, no longer stunned, but the owner walks up to you and slaps your face. And you take 2 points of damage. And he says, I don't think that you are supposed to be in my ship. What should I do with you?
Seduce him. Seduce him.
If you provide me with valuable information on who you're working for, perhaps one of my enemies, then I might let you live. Otherwise, the Wookiee will pull your arms from your body.
oh yes, I have great information. Oh yes, I have very, very good information. Be very useful to you. You don't need to break my arms. I have very useful information.
I would like, so we're currently out of initiative. I would like Cell to provide a compelling argument as to why she should stay alive at this moment.
Okay. So, you have to forgive me with names because Amanda is terrible with names. But she's going to say the first Sith guy that they ran into that we killed his Sith Lord for.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to say he sent him. He sent her. And
Andon.
Huh? Andon?
Andon. A-N-D-O-N.
If you know, he's a newly appointed Sith Lord, and so he just wanted to know, he wanted his presence known, and so he's been sending anyone who will accept coin to go around and take people for everything they're worth, because he's just trying to show that he's the big new bad guy, and he's better than the guy that was there first. And so he's like, hey guys, you got to go out and rob the rich for me so I have more money so I can do stuff because I'm the big guy now. And I was like, okay, I mean, you pay me, I'm getting paid. Jawa's got to eat too. Yep, that's the information I got. It's very useful. I know what his ship looks like, and I know where it was last, and I know a very useful moon where you could get some really good product.
Jawa's got to eat too. Roll me a deception check. I'm going to give you with advantage because you... Or not... Sorry, not with advantage. Yeah, with advantage because you dropped a known Sith Lord.
Oh, yeah. That's what I needed. Don't break my
That was exactly what you needed. I was going to eat too. And the owner says... Oh, not the Sith Lord Handon. Oh.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Girl, put her down and let this Jawa free. I don't want to incur the wrath of Lord Andon. He is not the most gracious Sith Lord in the sector. And so the Wookiee puts you down, and the human goes and undoes your binds, and you are currently free at the moment, but I need another sleight of hand check at the moment.
13.
13.
Oh my.
As you get released to the floor, the bangles on your wrist hit your hands as they fall out of your jacket. But he doesn't seem to care. And the owner says back to you, if the good Lord Andin has any favor for me, I should let you go, seeing as you're working for him. So please be on your way and not mention any of this to him, please.
I would be really happy to not mention it if, maybe you could, pay me for my troubles, and I'd be right on my way.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
Wow.
You have to try, guys. Gotta try. I mean, I can't guarantee that, he won't have backlash if,
The owner says, well, if you're not around to tell Lord Anton, then I don't have to worry about you spreading word. Girl, please remove her of her arms. And we're going back in. You're trying to extort this person, and he just realized it might be smarter for me to just kill you. So
I just didn't go. It's not to be. I was just kidding,
it is currently your turn. You are free. Your hands are available to you.
I run.
Disengage. Action to run.
Well, she's a rogue. So
Yep.
She could get really far.
You can get 60 feet away. That gets you back to the cargo hold if you want.
She can bonus action and regular move.
But she's currently surrounded by 3 people.
Yeah, she moves, then she takes her action to dash, and then her bonus action to dash again.
What do you do, Sel? I want the Jawa's interpretation of the situation.
I want to disengage, and I want to run because I want to save my limbs.
Take the tax opportunity.
But if
let's let the Jawa decide her fate.
I don't want to get hit. I'm very scared of them catching me again. And so I run, and I want to run to the cargo hold, and I noticed that there was like a shit ton of boxes back there, so I'm sure I could be able to hide among them.
So, using your bonus action to disengage, using your action to dash, you can make it to the cargo hold, but not hide behind any boxes.
As long as at least if I'm in the cargo hold, can I look around to see my options, like doorways, air vents?
Yep. Yeah, you see a hand pad that leads directly to a ramp that you would assume would be loading cargo. It's a relatively large ramp. It's about 10 or 15 feet across, maybe about 10, 15 feet tall. It's a giant square rectangular ramp. And you see approximately like 16 crates lining this cargo hold, and they're large crates. Floor to ceiling. Seems like this cargo hold's full.
Easy enough for me to get onto with my climbing feet thingy. It's not feet, but that thingy.
Yeah, you could probably make it up about. Yeah, you definitely feel like you can crawl up there. You also feel like you could just hit the pad and the ramp will come down.
Well, here's my thought process. So I want to try and get out the same bot hole that I came in through because there's still all those guards that are inside the hangar.
Okay.
So I still want to try and sneak around them.
Yeah, on your next turn, you can roll a perception check to see if there's a good access point for you.
Because I know opening that cargo door will definitely get all of their attention.
Yep.
So that's not really what I want.
You run around to the cargo bay, and seeing how fast you moved, and you basically ducked to the floor and then skittered across out of their arms. The three of them actually split up. The Wookiee heads back around the way it came. The other two run the way that you ran, and they all make it approximately within 10 feet of you. So think of you at the top of the stairs going down. Each of them are on the wings, like 10 feet away on each side. And that's as far as they're moving. The owner's back in his room. He's just going to let his hired guards handle this. So, you have 3 people within 10-15 feet of you. What do you do?
Yes, I want to get out of here using all of my movement I possibly can.
Okay. 11 perception, you see a sealed air vent grate in the center of the room directly above you, which is approximately 15-20 feet above you in the center of the room.
Okay. So it's only the cargo door and the air vent?
Yep. Or back to where you the way you came.
Ugh. Okay, I'll go for the air vent.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, so you don't have extra movement.
Do I have to use my action to open it?
Yep. I need you to make me a... Let's do a sleight of hand check, and that'll determine whether you can grab onto the grate, pull it open, and climb up. 29. Yep. So you climb up the side of the crate, so you get up, you're 20 feet, you jump across, your little nails grab into the grate, and you force it down with your weight, and then you use the grate to climb up into the air duct. And you currently are standing with your bonus action available.
I'll dash for my bonus action.
Dash for your bonus action. Okay, so you're heading back. Let's see. Oh, well, the entry point is right close to where you are. You are, so you can climb up, and you're now back on top of the ship.
Okay, and then I gotta try and be sneaky again because all those freaking guards are out here. Is TR-17 still out there, or did he round them up?
TR-17 is currently being detained by one of these 5 guards outside, and your 2 robots have been smashed.
No, those are award-winning robots.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you hear the landing pad drop down, and 2 additional guards from within the ship have come out.
Oh, jeez. Okay, and there's just the one big hangar door to get out of?
There's the big hangar door. This is an open air hangar for the ship to land. So there is approximately around the ship, there's approximately a 30-foot gap around the ship, but it is an open air landing pad. So you could, in theory, make your way above this and bypass the corridors.
crates or anything, old storage stuff that maybe might be against the walls, or is it just pretty basically?
No, it's going to be relatively clean. You might see the occasional electrical conduit running horizontally across the wall. Other than that, they're meant to be mostly open for whatever size ship lands.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, this is the hard part. Getting back in one piece.
It is your turn, Sel.
Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm on top of the ship.
Mm-hmm. You have approximately 50 feet in any direction to a hangar wall, ish. And then you have the large hangar door, which is maybe 60 feet, 70 feet away. As well as 7 guards in front of the hangar door.
Only I could fly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez. Sick. Okay. Okay, I guess we're just gonna make a good run for it, a sneaky run for it, though. We're going to try.
Go back in.
What do I have? I don't have anything useful for me right now. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of keep an eye. I'm gonna be on top of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep an eye on where the guards are going. The 2 that just exited, I'm gonna really keep an eye on where their course is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and lay like as flat as I can up against the top of this thing. So like, and like, you know, make sure that hatch that I climbed out of is closed, but I'll climb, you know, to a spot that I'm kind of easily hidden, hopefully, and kind of keep an eye on like what their action is now that they know that there's an imposter in here. So I kind of want to see if they split up and look around, or if they're all just gonna like guard the door. I want to get an idea what I'm dealing with before I run.
As you see the 2 run out, you begin surveying the area, and you notice that there are lights that haven't been turned on that illuminate the entire landing pad that you feel like could be turned on at any moment, which would essentially illuminate the entire ship in bright light. But they come out and they come out and they see the commotion, and they know that you went into the air ducts, and they quickly turn around once they get out and start looking at the top of the ship. They don't see you, but they are scanning the top of the ship.
Oh, jeez.
What do you do?
So when I was in the cargo bay,
Yep.
Were any of those crates open, or were they all pretty sealed tight?
They were all pretty sealed tight.
Okay.
Well, they were all sealed, not necessarily tight.
Hard for me.
They essentially used the weight of the crate above it in order to hold down the lids of the other ones.
Okay. So not one I could just easily run back in and jump in and hide. Okay.
Possibly the top ones?
Yeah.
None of the lower ones, though.
So obvious. Fuck. It's okay. If I can dodge an AMIC, I can dodge 10 other people, right? We got this. So,
yeah.
I'm going to keep track.
You can't always dodge AMIC.
No, I really can't. He almost killed me. But I just had to dodge him for a few rounds. I can do this. So as they're kind of scanning the top of the ship, I'm going to go to a side that they're not on.
Okay, that would be the nose side of the ship.
That's the front of the ship?
Yep.
Fuck. Would that be like, say I were to drop down right off the ship, would that drop me right in front of all the guards or right behind them?
If you were to drop off where you're at, you would drop right in front of the guards. If you were to go to the nose, so if you think the gate is on one end, the back of the ship, which is the loading, the cargo hold, is directly in front of the gate, which seems like it's the main access to the ship. If you were to go to the nose, you would be on the far side of the hangar bay.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do. Okay, so fuck.
I love how Skatos set you up for this. This is great.
In his defense, I wasn't supposed to take anything.
I don't know what you mean.
What?
But damn it, Cell, what were you doing?
Damn it, Cell.
Okay, if only I didn't try and get more money from him. That was my own fault.
Yeah, you could have walked out of there free.
I could have walked out. Cell would never do that, though. Okay. Sorry, guys. Decisions. Not easy to make. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna... Probably isn't gonna work, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Try my luck here.
Roll the die.
I am going to... So I'm on one point of the ship here. I'm going to grab my dice out of my pack. I'm going to throw them as hard as I can in an opposite direction that I'm going to run. I'm going to run towards the opening of the hangar on top of the ship so I can jump off the ship and get out of the hangar as fast as I can. Hopefully. But I'm going to throw the dice as a distraction to make noise in the opposite direction.
Okay.
And, there's like 5 or 6 of them, or however many there are.
7.
So I'm like, that should make a good clatter against something.
So you're gonna throw away your loaded dice?
I'm going to throw away my loaded dice. Save my life.
Okay.
It's going to be sad.
Roll me a straight strength check, please.
I mean, to be fair, throwing things is dexterity. Never mind.
Never mind. Take it back.
Either way. So you throw them towards the nose of the ship, and there's a loud clattering as it clinks off of the nose of the ship and then lands near like a refueling station. And it hears the ting as it hits a fuel vessel. And let's see how many of these people notice it. You see about 4 of the people turn their heads and start running towards that direction. And the other 3, one of them is currently holding TR-17. The other 2 being some of the hired guards from the huts are still guarding the gateway. And they are moving back to cover the entryway into this port, to this loading dock. So
now
you
I
have
want to try.
half the people to get through.
Yeah, it's better, I want to try and kind of still. I mean, I'm obviously on top of the ship. There's no going around the side of them. But if I could, kind of go, not directly drop off right in front of them, but kind of on the side and run and be sneaky as I can in the little amount of shadows that there are. Try and get out of there.
So 30 feet of movement will get you basically to the wing of the ship and down to the ground. And then you have a bonus action to either hide or to dash for additional movement. If you, just so you would know this, if you were to fall down onto the ground and not move additionally, you would be basically in the open as these people are running towards the front of the ship.
yeah, there's nothing there. So I will take the dash action and run instead of hide and just try and be as quiet as I can while doing it and hope I don't die.
So you make it an additional 30 feet. So you're approximately 15 feet from the entryway. Oh, that's not good for their perception for you.
Oh, good. Good for me.
No, it's bad for you. Very bad. That was a natural 20 on their perception.
Oh. Wow.
And one of the guard that is currently holding TR-17 drags him to the entryway to this landing area, landing pad, and he hits the master switch, and the lights illuminate the entire landing zone, and you are standing there next to the wall, completely illuminated.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to let you sit on that. What's everyone else doing on the ship? Skathos, it's been about 15, maybe 20 minutes, and you haven't heard back from Cell. What are you doing?
Well, since Cell hasn't even mentioned when she'd be heading off to this other ship, Skathos is starting to plot in his mind, like, all right, so whenever she comes around, I could potentially give her a cloaking device to help her out with this mission. Maybe these anti-gravity boots could be of some assistance. Or, she's looking for a firepower just in case she gets into a fight. I could overcharge the cells within her blaster. I sure hope she remembers to come talk to somebody before just going off on her own without saying anything. But no, she wouldn't be that foolish.
But we did
I'll get back to transcribing these scrolls.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's right. You need like what, an hour for that scroll?
2 hours per spell level. So 2 hours for this first one.
All right. So you need 2 hours. So yeah, you're just kind of copying the code into your data pad and just off-mindedly thinking, well, I hope Cell doesn't do anything dumb. And I'm how about Amic? It's been about 20 minutes. What is Amic doing? You've had that weird vision.
Yep. Is he done cleaning all of his gear?
All done.
Oh, he's gonna read a book.
Okay. So you plop down on the bed, kick your feet up. I assume you've stripped out of your gear for the night, right? Or does Amic like to read in his armor?
No, he has to get out of it to clean it.
Fair enough. So you're in your jumpsuit, essentially. Typical space wear. Get your feet kicked up, like some nice woolen socks. Chilled up, back propped up against your bed, reading a fine. What kind of novel does Amic read?
Oh, he reads nonfiction history about the Mandalorian Empire.
That'll put you to sleep real quick. Amic is just chilling, reading ancient history.
You know how people are like totally like, oh, they read all about like wars and really into that kind of stuff. Like that's what he does.
He's reading Sun Tzu's Art of War. What is Volva doing after he's had a interesting thought process?
He shook off his thought. There's no way a robot has anything to do with force. So Volva will stretch out in his dug form and begin his intense monk yoga.
Starts doing some weird poses on the driver's seat, trying not to hit any buttons, stretching out, arcing his back over the chair, trying to get it to pop and crack and stretch. And so he's kind of chilling. So you are currently without a medical droid and a Jawa. So this is a good little reprieve. Cell, what are you doing?
Oh dear, I'm illuminated, so I'm going to run. Run for my life as fast as I can.
Okay.
Using my action.
So you're doing your action to what?
Run.
Okay.
Run.
So with 60 feet of movement, you can make it outside of this hangar area, but you're going to have to bypass 3 guards.
I can do that. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be real easy. And so this.
And just so you can see it, the entire space is illuminated, and your eyes kind of have to adjust to the brightness. But looking at your goal, your destination, you see this tunnel that you've seen in all the spaces is intensely dark, and it's too hard for you to see beyond. But that's your destination that you're running to.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I go that way.
Check.
If I make it out of this hangar,
Yep.
just so I have an idea, is it like a huge circle or is
It
it
is.
like a line? It's a big
It's
circle.
a circle. It's a circle. And you're only 2 bays from your home hangar.
I know, I'm just debating if I should go straight to it or not.
Well, that depends on what you see with your perception check.
Yes, it depends. It does depend. Okay, I just want to try and get out of this hangar in one piece, so I'll do what I have to do to get out of it. I'll use my action, or my movement, and...
Movement gets you to the entryway to the hangar.
Okay, then I will use my action to continue running out of there, and then my bonus action to try and find, like, is everything completely lit up now? Like, even the outside, or just inside the hangar?
Just inside the hangar, but I need you to roll me a perception check.
Oh,
once
sorry.
you reach the tunnel. 11. You start to hear something that is unfamiliar to you, while on planet, but it seems like there's a mechanical contraption moving in the direction you're running.
That's not good.
You start to hear clangs and whirs and the grinding of metal on metal.
That sounds really bad.
So, you have only used your movement. You make it so you still have another 15 feet of movement that you can do, as well as your action and bonus action.
So, can I use the rest of the 15 feet of movement to continue out of there? I don't know if I'm closest to the left or the right side, but I want to get like close to the wall-ish.
You'd be on the right side would be your closest side.
Okay, so I want to kind of edge along the wall because I don't think there's probably too much out in the open for me to try and hide in.
So as you run into this tunnel, you see that there are 3 people guarding this tunnel, about 15 feet in, and you see TR-17 being held by one of the guards, and you also see that essentially a blast door is starting to close off this tunnel.
I thought TR-17 was still in the hangar. Did I get out? I didn't.
In order to turn on the lights, he had to drag the droid over towards the tunnel. So this one guard is keeping this rogue droid in its clutches as it's moving closer towards the tunnel.
Okay,
so you really only have to contend with one within your melee distance if you were to run down the tunnel. But you're starting to see this steel door begin to close from top to
Yeah,
bottom.
I want to try and get out before that door closes, so I'll use my bonus action to dash and my action to move. So I'll just...
Okay.
Even if they fly,
all right.
Going.
Let me... Ooh. Does an 18 hit your AC?
Yes.
All right. I need you to make a Constitution save, please.
Oh, what?
Constitution save, please. as this guy pulls out a stun rod. All right. You are not stunned, but you take 10 points of lightning damage.
Christ.
Wait, I have a reaction.
5?
5.
6, right?
All right. You take
She had
5
2 on the bus.
5 points.
She had 1 right after that. She just had another one on that persuasion
Yeah,
check.
no,
that's her
fucking
5th
crazy.
One. Yeah, 5.
So you take
Is that land
5
rolls or
No, the
5
5th one on the
points of
persuasion
lightning
check,
damage.
6th one on the strength check, 7th one on the...
Yeah. So you take 5 points of lightning damage, and you were not stunned as this guy pulls out a stun rod and tries to hit you with it.
Yeah, she's had like 6 or 7 of them.
I know.
And
Cell
you're
is.
not allowed to say I've got shit rolls tonight.
Yeah.
Ever
No.
again.
Only when they count.
Whoops.
So you take a huge jolt to your side. Zzz.
Oh, that's not fun.
Yep. And so 15 feet gets you there. Another 30 feet gets you outside and into the inner ring. So that would be your bonus action. And for your action, you said you wanted to do what?
Keep running. I'm going.
Okay. Which direction? Towards your ship or away from your ship?
Okay, I'm gonna run towards my ship. I just want to hide.
All right. Towards your ship, you can get another 30 feet closer to your ship. That gets you basically to the next bay.
Okay.
That's their turn. You see 2 of the guards basically dive and slide into the corridor. They stand up and they attempt to shoot at you. Oh, nope. And they, in their haste, they slide up and they're not quick. They're not steady enough to take their aimed shots, and they shoot wide. And you hear 2 blaster bolts slam on either side of the corridor next to you. You
Could
don't see any.
do perception checks to see if we notice that there's shooting going on in the hallways?
Yeah. Everyone, give me a perception check. I will say, Volwa, give me with advantage, please. Skatos is near the engines. He can't hear shit.
He's
Bezos
busy.
is pretty preoccupied.
19.
19. Amic and Volwa both hear 2 sounds of energy blasting into metal, and it starts to hear the ticking of cooling metal as it sounds. And it sounds distant, very quiet, but you hear the kind of, it's almost like a zap. You hear a couple zaps. It sounds pretty far away.
Yeah, still, Amic knows exactly what that is. He gets all of his weapons. Doesn't have time to put on his armor, so he's just going to grab his helmet and stick that on. And he's going to run out into the hallway, and he's just going to shout, "Hey, Volwa, do you hear what's going on out there?"
I do.
Let's go.
Volwa grabs his staff and runs out the door.
Skatos!
The 2 of you...
I'm occupied.
There's shooting going on in the hallway. Do you want to come with?
You go check it out. Let me know what you find.
All right.
I love how there's an echo between you two, because it sounds like you're talking to each other in the ship. It's great.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, he's totally in the fucking mechanic room. Just, I'm busy.
I'm busy.
Like
Yeah,
waiting
so
stop
Amic
and
and Volwa make it out basically to the door that leads to the passenger ramp out of the ship on this turn. I need you 2 to roll me initiative, please, since you're getting involved. Oh.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Volwa, what'd you get?
$17.
Yep.
All right. 1 second.
Yeah, I think with my helmet on, my AC is still like 15. Like wearing no armor, no nothing.
All
Just
right.
my helmet.
Oh, Skathos, you're gonna get involved too? Okay.
My thought process is essentially if they're leaving the ship, I'm going to at least send Simon up to our entry point to see if like I need to get involved, or since everyone's leaving our ship, to make sure no one boards our ship.
Okay.
But I'm chilling in the engine.
Easy enough. Just answering some questions in chat. Because there's someone watching and talking. Purple Chicken 97 is awesome.
How exciting!
All right, so we are. Let's see. Let's get ourselves back in proper initiative. So Skathos, Amic, and Volwa are doing their business. Cell, you are currently 30 feet from the entryway, 30, 45 feet from the entryway of your hangar, with two people behind you. What do you do?
I can make it. Okay, I can make it. I'm going to run, and I'm going to dive into my hangar.
Uh-huh.
And do I see? Did they get off the ship yet, or are they just on the way
No, they're
down?
still in the ship. You see that the ramp has been let down, and the doorway is open, but they are still within the ship.
Okay, so then I'm going to use my action to run to the ramp.
Okay. Yep. You get like 5 feet from the ramp.
And then I
Please
use
still
my
have your
bonus
bonus.
action to dash and get on the ship.
So, Amic and Vola, you see this blur of black and brown again, like you saw earlier in the night, about an hour and a half ago, run directly past you as she's running towards the engine compartment where she knows is the quickest access to her little hidey hole.
If I see them, I'm going to say, I was never here. You never saw me. And I'm
So,
gonna
what the
keep
hell is
running.
going on? We heard shooting.
That's all I say. I was never here. And I just keep running and I hide. Get up there as fast as I can.
Amic just kind of rolls his eyes and looks at Volwa and says, oh no, this is her fault. All right, I'm going to think I have to go kill somebody.
All right. So Volwa's up next, and just so you guys know, oh, there's Ryan. The purple chicken says they're upset that the Jawa didn't get disarmed from the Wookiee. It was very close. Volwa, you hear the Mandalorian say they're going to go kill someone, and you're standing at the door to your ship. What do you do? Remember, you are a chaotic evil.
I'll take my full action, and killing sounds fun.
All right.
I start spinning my electro staff and move forward. My full movement of 50.
All right. 50 feet will get you basically to the entry of like the far end of the tunnel into your hangar bay.
I'll stand there and anticipate. You know what? I will spend a key point for patient defense.
Okay, so that's a dodge action, right?
Yep.
Disadvantage on attack rolls against you. Beautiful. Volwa, you see out of the corner of your eye two people chasing the Jawa that went around the corner here. And they see you standing there, and you're not a typical guard, so they're both going to shoot at you. Let's see. Oh, natural 1. That blasts out and hits a an exhaust vent next to you, and a natural 2 for that one's attack. So you see 2 blasts hit the far side. Oh, shit. And a third one to the left side. And a fourth one to the left side. So 2 on either side of the hangar. They're looking at you, and you're kind of doing the Street Fighter Bob.
Get a chance to deflect missiles.
No, because none of them
they're
hit.
not going to hit me.
They have to hit for him to deflect them. So they shoot way wide. These guys are winded and not used to running. So that's their turn. 4 shots ring out in this hallway, and you're now starting to hear, Amic and Volwa, you're starting to hear more people running down this corridor as these are hired guards of the huts, and the hut guards don't like people causing trouble. Amic, it is your turn, my friend.
Amic's gonna storm down this ramp out towards where these guys are shooting at Volwa. Can he get to a distance where he can see them?
Yeah, I would say you can. They have moved up close enough that you could probably get one of them. And since you can ignore cover, you can definitely hit one of them for sure.
Well,
if you pie shape it, if you get far enough down.
That guy's gonna feel real bad. He's gonna pull out his holdout blaster and his Colto disruptor pistol.
Yes.
And he's gonna shoot at that guy 3 times? Let's do 3 times.
You can do 3 times. Oh, yes, that hits. Oh, yes, that hits, too. Jesus Christ.
Pinnacle of consistency.
25 points of damage, and you put guard number 3 down. The human just collapses as he takes 3 bolts to the chest, one of them searing and starting to disintegrate the center of his chest.
Then he's just gonna shout out, next man that takes a shot is gonna join him. Everyone back off!
You know what? Roll. Yeah, you are on it. Thank you. Let me give you some. Oh, okay. Okay. You hear. You actually hear 4 sets of footsteps slowly backing away, but there are still 2 advancing. So currently there was 7 guards in the hallway, but 4 of them are backing up. One of them is dead. Skatos.
That's everything I got.
Man answering the chat. What are you doing?
I am just going to have my droid Simon kind of hover nearby our entryway, and if anyone other than our crew tries to make their way in, I'll hit them with a shocking grasp.
Okay, so you're just readying.
Maybe with a 13 to hit.
All right, beautiful. Cell, are you currently hiding?
So I got under the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I'm going to. Actually, I'm going to run to Skatos.
Okay.
Skatos. That's all my movement. I'm going to give him one of the 3 bangles that I found. I'm going to slap it down on his paper that he's writing on. I'm going to say, this was really all that was on the ship. There's nothing really left to know. There was really, nothing worth looking into. No big deal.
Okay.
That's all I got, I think, for now.
So you pop one of these bangles down on the desk, and then you decide to run up to your cubbyhole.
Yep.
Climbing up the service ladder that the droids use. Okay, so you're out of sight. You are within running distance to a guard that is still heading in your direction.
I will engage and attack twice. And I will invoke Things of Flame.
All
Using
right.
1 key point. So that puts me within 10 feet, not up against. And all damage is fire.
All right. Beautiful.
All right. First strike is 27.
Definitely hit.
Second strike is 13.
That's a miss.
You want me to roll damage or do my flurry of blows?
You can roll damage on your first. We'll just see how much it is.
All right. I'll set second key point to add 1d10 of fire.
All right.
So that's going to be 1d8 plus 5. So it's going to be 15. So 20 total plus 1d10.
Okay.
So 30 total on that one.
Yeah, you hit this guard with a shadow fist right to the chest, and you see him totally engulfed in fire. And this is something Amick has never seen someone do and not shoot a flamethrower before. And that guy dies outright. Looking to the right, you see 2 guards coming from the other side of the hangar.
Can I use my remainder of movement and use flurry of blows?
Is it a bonus action to activate the fire fangs?
No, it's upon attack.
Okay. Then yes, you can get within 10 feet.
All right, I get within 10 feet of the next guy. Do 2 strikes each.
Wait, are you attacking the Huts guards now?
The additional guards, which are to the right.
Okay. So still the people that were chasing Cell, right?
No, the people that were chasing Cell are dead. These are additional guards that are coming to find out what's going on in the hangar.
Oh god, don't attack them!
Too late.
Oh.
He's already going over. You get 2 attacks.
Oh my god. I'm such an asshole. All right.
Chaotic evil. All must die.
Totally. So that's...
Okay, Scathos, we need a new party.
All right.
Take that glove from him. He'll be fine.
We ditch Volvo and Cell and we hire new ones.
Unarmed is +8, so 27 for the first one.
Oh, that'll definitely hit.
And 13 for the second one.
Second one misses. So D8 and then D10 plus 4.
No, it's 1d6 for the
sorry,
unarmed strike.
D6 and a D10.
So 16.
All right. You see this guy cindered, but he still seems to be moving. And it is their turn. And you see the one that you hit is kind of reeling back a little bit, but he grabs a blaster at his side, and he takes 2 pot shots at you. And natural 18 on the die is going to hit you. You do have a chance to use your reaction to reduce the damage, though.
Yeah, I've got an armor class of 20, but I will do my...
it's natural 18 plus his everything is going to hit you.
Oh, okay. The... What do you call it? My catch.
I do not know the monk catch. Nick, do you know that offhand?
It's called deflect missiles.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Roll a D10 plus
Yeah.
your monk
Reduced
level
by 1d10
plus something
plus
else.
dex. Plus
Yeah.
dex plus 6, so
I did
Dex
really
modifier.
good with it. For the,
So it should be a
lot of-
D10 plus 10. So you automatically, just so you know, you automatically reduce all the damage to 0,
Oh, good.
and you have it in your hand.
And I send it back.
All right.
That costs a key point.
That costs a key point to send it back.
That's fine. I got it.
All right.
Do I
So
roll
that will
attack
be,
or-
it's basically a ranged attack. So it's your proficiency plus your dex.
All right. So, 15.
15 hits. The same target that shot it, correct?
Correct.
All right,
Just
so it's going to be
back at
a D6 plus your dex mod for damage.
8.
Since this is coming from you, this is also going to add a D10 for fire damage as you ignite this blaster bolt and overcharge it and send it back.
So 18.
So the guy that you had just hit with fire out of nowhere you just grab his blaster bolt in that chains of hatred hand, and you formulate it, and you see it start to crackle fiery energy, and you take it and you blast your hand like Iron Man back at him, and you drop him to the floor dead in his place.
For the record,
Yes.
it says if you catch a missile in this way, you can spend 1 key point to make a ranged attack. So he can throw it at anyone.
Who does he want? Okay. Who do you want to send it to?
I mean, no.
No,
I don't want to change what happened. I'm just saying next time.
Good to know, but I definitely would have sent it right
So
back
you
to
could
this.
throw it at Amic
Target
if you
cell.
wanted to. So bad guy number 2 pulls out a heavy artillery laser and attempts to shoot you. Lower of the 2 is not going to hit. 15 on the die is going to be a 22 to hit.
He hits, and I'll spend another key point for.
You can't. You've used your reaction already.
Oh, once per round. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I take it.
It's going to hurt. Oh, shit. That's 22 points of damage.
God damn.
This heavy, literally, Volwa has actually seen this type of cannon before. It actually looks like something that's used for mining asteroids. And this huge, hulking Gamorrean is carrying this thing. And he just sets it like a 80s action hero with a minigun and just lays right into you.
Ow. That hurt.
And he's not going to take a second attack because that attack's overpowered. Actually, I will do... I need a d6, please. You see that the gun is still overheating, and it has not recharged yet. Amic, you're up. You see a large laser blast shoot from the right side. It looked to be like a 6-inch laser blast hit Volwa directly in the chest.
He's gonna go out into the hallway with a little smile on his face, and he's gonna look over towards where Volwa went and notice that these are the same guards that we've been paying, right? Basically.
No, your guards have not moved from your ship.
Well, then he doesn't care. So there's just the guy holding the laser is standing there like a dumbass, right? Ready and get shot.
Big hulking pig dude, right in the hallway.
Oh, well, he's gonna have a few holes in him. So, hey, how about a 23 to hit?
A 23
Another
hit?
23 to hit.
18 hits as well. Yep. 23
Jesus.
points of damage. And you see this guy is just...
No big deal.
You hit him 3 times in the gut, and he just... And he's still up. but you start to see blood just oozing out. This green, charred liquid flowing out and slopping onto the floor. Boop, 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 boop.
Is he the only one left?
He's the only one that you can see that is currently not running.
I'm just gonna finish him off. I'm gonna action surge.
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, 2 more hits. Another 13 points of damage. And you put 2 blasts right directly into his chest, where his heart is, and he collapses on the floor, leaving that large artillery laser clattering to the floor, overheating.
Oh, you alright?
I am fine. You see Boa's eyes roll over black, and he has a little grin on his face.
You scare me sometimes. Alright. Check the body, see what they were, see who they are.
Alright, Amick, give me an investigation check. Cell? Not sorry, Cell. You're occupied. Vola.
Oh, I'm totally scavenging everything.
No. I know. Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, no.
While you're doing that, Amick, you're checking the 2 guys, like the one guy with the large artillery laser.
He's gonna check the guys,
The first 2 that you killed?
The first 2 that the first guy that he shot, he's gonna check those guys first, because he's closer to those guys, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you run over to those guys, you see each one has 50 credits on their person, as well as basic blaster pistols. Other than that, they didn't have anything useful.
Alright, I
Photos
just
of
take
their
the
wife and
credits.
family.
And then
Yeah,
he's gonna go
photos.
check out that laser.
Okay. Yeah, you go over and it's a heavy artillery laser. It's a one shot per round, but it does 2d8 plus 2d8 and 1d6 fire damage with a recharge of 5 to 6. It's a massive cannon that does massive amounts of damage. But the risk is that it might not recharge.
I think shooting with my heavy repeater twice is actually better.
Yeah, but if you need to get one big shot off,
How
plus
heavy
10.
is it?
How heavy? Let's see.
Just like
in
a
real,
drill, right? Like two-handed-
yes, essentially, it's just like a highly focused laser. I would say, in relative to other weapons, it's probably 15, 20 pounds. Comparatively to everything else, it's a big weapon. Two-handed.
It's a nice weapon. He'll take it.
Yeah.
A rocket launcher on your back.
You're gonna have to write down those stats for me, though. I already have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weapons on me.
You think that you might be able to, just add a quick thought, you could probably mount this to your Dapper Lobster craft and have a mining laser. So Vola, you got an 8. Your eyesight flashes red. You're seeing anger and hatred. I need you to make me a 2 attack rolls at Amick, please.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
As he's bent over the body of this guy who hit you with a massive laser cannon, and you go up and you just pop, pop.
So I'm in bloodlust.
You're bloodlusting.
Shit.
It's not the first time that Volva has bloodlust.
I know. This is the second time.
I think he attacked Amick last time too.
Yes, he did.
You two just seem to pair well nicely together.
Oh, that sucks. 16.
Amick, does that hit?
16 hits. Yeah, my EC's 15 right now.
You're not wearing your armor.
Yeah, I just have my helmet on.
All right, you two figure that out real quick. I'll be right back.
Roll damage.
And I'm not spending key points, and I'm just...
Why not, pussy?
No.
Come on.
I'm not going to kill you.
Hit me!
No. So this is going to be... one. Where the hell did it go? 1d8 plus 5. Oh, 7.
Like, total?
I wonder, does the... let me read on it real quick. Does the fangs last more than one round, or does it go away?
I don't know. Those are in the PHB, right? Let me look.
Yeah.
I was a shadow monk, not this. No. Fangs of the Fire Snake. When you use this attack action on your turn, you can spend 1 key point because... yeah, it's just that turn.
What's up?
Okay. So,
Oh,
yeah.
you're figuring damage.
So I hit him on the first one for 7. And the second one is another 16. So 8. So 15 total.
That tickles.
My bad.
And as
I'll
Vola
use
gets
my
done...
bonus action as a patient of defense. I'll use a key point.
No, you don't get a bonus action for this. And certainly being in a blood frenzy, you would not be patiently defending. You'd be on an all-out attack. Just the 2 attacks. As you punch twice into Amic's back with your fists, or with your electrostaff, your eyes clear up again, and you notice 2 fist-shaped indentions in Amic's flight suit. And you realize what you've just done to a Mandalorian.
Jesus, Amic, I'm sorry. I thought you were another one of them.
Is it my turn?
We are currently out of initiative. So, yeah, you were free.
Oh, you might be out of initiative. Avik puts away his holdout blaster, puts away both his blasters in a kind of just, kind of a motion, pulls out his dagger, twists it, gets his lightsaber, dark saber out, and he just pokes Volvo with it.
All right, I want to know where you poke Volvo with it. This might be crucial information.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, let's see. He's a Doug. Like, shoulder?
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Attack roll.
Oh, he's
Go
got
for
a
it.
roll attack.
23.
Fuck.
I'm sure that hits the Doug.
And you need to make a wisdom save. That's a good one for you, at least.
I got a 20 AC. God dang it.
Well,
Alright, so wisdom is going to be +2. No, 4.
Alright. So let me roll this d4. Alright, so you are severed from the Force for
1 round.
But that should be enough to calm you down.
Right?
Boa, you feel actually enlightened. You feel like burden has been lifted off your shoulders. And right as the blade pierces your arm, you hear a deep scream.
No!
That was awesome.
As your temporary connection to, or your connection to Tulak Horde and his anger, his hatred has been momentarily severed. and your mind is clear.
Amic's gonna just kind of shove you with his foot, and he's gonna say, "Get a hold of yourself. If you do that again, I'm not gonna stop at just poking you in the shoulder."
Amic, make a perception check, please.
21.
You see, as you stab into his shoulder, that there is these black veins begin to recede down onto his wrist, where he has this hand jewelry on. It's very similar to when you stabbed the heart, and the shadow of the heart faded away from the center, away from your blade. It is very similar to what's happening there on his arm.
Ignore the jewelry.
I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do for power. Just learn to control it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to put you down.
Just like
And as he pulls the blade from your arm, you start to feel that surge of heat and the weight pull itself back onto your body, and you feel heavy again. But you have your mind and your wits about you.
Anyways.
My evil mind or my...
Your
chaotic,
evil mind
neutral
has
mind.
returned back to your body. You no longer feel the sense of peace and tranquility, and there's nothing but hatred and seething anger.
Anyways, pick out whatever else you want off this. I'm going to go find fucking Cell.
So Vo will quickly just empty pockets, strip them down to, basically Skyrim. Everybody's in underwear.
So, Amic, as you were taking the laser, you saw an additional 50 credits on that body.
Yeah, he takes that instead of doing it to
Vola, you see 50 credits on the body that you hit originally with that fire fist. And again, he has a basic blaster, and all of them have a stun rod. I forgot to mention.
I'll take that.
Yeah, grabbing all weapons, emptying pockets, jewelry, earrings.
Walks up the ramp and into the ship and just starts yelling, "Cell!"
All right. So Vola, you have 4 stun rods, 3 basic blaster pistols, and the 50 credits you got off that one guy. They weren't really wearing any armor. Natural hide. Natural skin. Hard weathered skin from being on the planet so long. I like this planet. And yeah, you guys come back onto the ship. Does anybody say anything to the guards that are protecting your ship after you just went and murdered some other guards?
Do they say anything to me?
They look at you with raised eyebrows like, now what are you going to do?
Eric will walk over to one of them and he'll say, "You saw them shooting at Volvo before I killed them, right?"
They both just hold out their hands, palms up.
He puts 50 credits in each of their hands.
It was completely in self-defense, from what I saw. And the other guy says, "I agree."
Cell!
That's true. No one's home.
Skathos, get up here.
What's all that commotion about out there, anyways?
It was, you talk to her. You have your way.
Oh, Sel, good. When are you ready to go check out that other ship? I think I have a cloaking device that you could make particular use of to be extra sneaky.
Oh, that would have been very, very useful. You know, being
Will be, Sally, will be. Your tense is all wrong. Your use of the proper galactic common is atrocious.
But remember, I gave you that bangle and told you that there was nothing really of use, and she's like scratching the back of her head. You know, there was like nothing really of use on there. Remember, I kind of told you that already. I went and explored, and you know, it was just really, you know, it's really fancy on the outside, but the inside, really, you know, maybe not much. You know, not a big
Wait.
deal. It's okay.
You're telling me that you went to check out the ship during all the commotion with the shooting going on and all that?
Yeah, it's weird how that happened, huh?
Well, I suppose it's somewhat clever, making use of the distraction of whatever's going on out there.
Oh, someone should probably join the TR-17 also. He kind of got,
Oh, do you need medical attention? You should be in the medical bay. Right where we left him.
No, he wandered outside during the commotion for some reason. He said he wanted to explore, and you know, there he goes. He just wanted to explore, and now I saw him get caught up in all of it, so it's not good.
And we flash out to Volva standing in the corridor, and Volva hears a familiar noise. Please don't deactivate me. I am just doing what my master said. My master Cell told me to come and help her. Please, oh no! And Volva hears a sickening crunch as what sounds like a head being removed from its shoulders. And that's where we're going to end our session.
These guys hate arms, apparently.
Congratulations. You have killed your only healing droid.
You know, I didn't think he was going to be dead. I thought, you know, they'd be like...
Well,
yeah,
you sent him into an armed robbery.
Dang it, Cell, who are we going to have draw cards from this deck now? I take that as you volunteering.
No, but who's going to heal us is the problem.
Yeah.
That was very unfortunate. Can we recover the body and have Skathos fix it?
Yeah, we can fix him.
Oh yeah, you can fix the you can fix the body.
It'll be TR-18 now.
Oh yeah, I imagine him as a pile of parts like C-3PO on
Question is,
Empire Strikes Back.
how do you get to it?
Easy. After she mentions that, Amic goes off the ship and it goes out to find Volva.
As Volva hears the crushing noise, he returns back to the ship. You close the hatch and lock it in 18 different locks, just like a house in the ghetto. And you try to get the rest of your night sleeping peacefully to try to rest up for the morning.
I'm going to go get our robot.
Well, write that down.
No.
We'll do that next week.
I would imagine when Vol was walking up the steps and he looks at the guards, a little flash of black goes across his eye.
And as you're coming up, Amic just grabs you and says, "Nope, we got to go get our robot. Come on."
Yeah, put it in the notes. It's ready. Let it be known.
All right. Yep. So put it in your guys' notes that Volva and Amic are currently heading back down off the ship to go recover their mildly abused and molested medical droid.
And my streak of one-shotting guys is at like a 3 right now.
Yeah, you're doing really freaking good.
Your shots
And-
combined with Cell's rolls, we could be unstoppable.
So you get the feeling that maybe might having more bodies protecting your ship would be better, considering how quickly these guys are dispatched.
That, and I didn't use a full run of my attack.
Nope. You haven't flurried on any of them.
You know, the good news is we're just going to get our robot, we're going to go pick up our stragglers, and then we're going to get the fuck out of this town.
Maybe they should have stayed on the ship with us so we could have left now.
God. Maybe. Nope. Because what would have happened is we would have left the ship and gone out during the commotion. They would have killed Skathos and taken the ship.
Possibly.
Or I would have happily surrendered to them in exchange for repairing their engines.
Also a possibility.
Or we could have
Oh,
held our
man.
ground and rolled the casino.
Yep.
Sel wouldn't have survived here, guys. She needs to
So
leave.
the moral of the story is
Don't
Cell
stop.
still needs to be kept on a leash.
And my skills need more working on.
What are you talking
You know
about?
what? I think your
rolled
skills are
6 to
fine.
7 natural 20s tonight.
No, your
They're still
skills are
not
fine.
fine.
I think just running into a nobleman's ship is probably a dumb idea. I don't think skills have
Well,
anything to do with that.
I did the math. I think, like, if you counted that as, like, essentially a skills challenge, she rolled, what did I say, 18 rolls in her skill challenge, and she
Over
passed
everything?
most
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
So, like, that was one of the gnarliest skill challenges ever, and she passed.
Okay. In that case, I think it's more Amanda needs to be put on a leash because her opening her mouth wanting more credits from this guy that she just stole
No,
from.
that was like, I was like, oh, he gave her an out. Nice, she's good. And then she's like, I gave you information. You should pay
So
me
I think
for that."
Amanda needs to work on her negotiating skills.
Okay. So realistically, has anyone ever known a Jawa to just shut up and be like, okay, we're done here? Like, Jawas are like,
Yes, it happened in episode
Yeah,
4 when
just
Luke
go through
Skywalker
TV
hit that
and-
Jawa in the head for washing its windshield.
well, after he actually tried to break her arm, she shut up. Right?
You should have just been like, oh, in exchange for that information, can I have my droid?
Yeah, I didn't know they had him, though.
The
to
droid
be
wasn't
fair.
contained until the guards came out, so...
Yeah, to be fair, I didn't know they had TR-17, or that could have been. And also, I was like, maybe it's best that he's not associated with me because they might just kill him on the spot. So now he's
And
dead
they did.
anyway.
It did.
They did it after he spilled all the beans on you. It's the worst of both
Well,
ways.
He's the worst liar.
Let's put it this way. The fact is the only thing that the guards saw when you came in was 3 droids. So they handled the situation.
I was sneaky getting in. I just had to get the bangles. Damn
Here,
it.
all this
No.
time we thought you cared about your award-winning
I'm pretty-
robot.
That's
I'm
what
pretty
we do. We take all the bangles and buy a new robot.
I'm pretty sure Skathos said, just get intel on the ship.
He did. I was getting intel, and then I was like, well, he's drunk, and there's money laying there, and I'm quiet. So what's the worst that could happen?
Now, your success on the bus ride just threw it all out of whack. It made your head swell, and I was like, all right,
Right?
we're
Yeah.
off the rails.
Popping a nameplate off of a bus robot is something entirely different than storming someone's personal vessel.
No, that made her Wonder Woman. She was like, fuck it, I can do anything.
And we learned that she should talk to Skathos before doing these things so she could be invisible, because she never once really attacked anyone.
Or anybody.
Or, yeah, or maybe mention my plans to anyone before I leave.
God, I mean, like, find your fire buddy. Okay, where's the exit?
So, why have you doomed me to this eternal...
Oh,
I'll bring him back. Cell is good with fixing things. We need to put it in the scrapyard, though.
Alright, I'm going to leave you with that discouraging note. And I'll see you all next week.
Have a wonderful evening.
Bye, guys. Well, I'm hoping that you had fun, Purple Chicken. Glad you could make it. And I will have to see if I can pull you up when I'm playing. And we'll have Star Wars in 2 weeks from now, if you can catch it, on should be on the 19th. Didn't you say you stream on Sundays? Or you play on Sundays? All right. I'll make sure to oh, I know. I did it for 2 years. I had to stop. But yeah, Purple, I'll check you out sometime. Thanks for stopping by.